Welcome into the Cam and Strick podcast, episode number 159, presented by Hair Club.
Hair Club.
What's up, everybody?
What up, guys? How's everybody doing, man?
Listen, Cam, your energy today is not good enough.
It ain't good.
It's not good enough.
No, well, I got shit
Well, what's
down.
wrong with you?
Well, I got shit going down.
Are you going to make this show a little dark today?
No.
Are you going to bring some positivity?
I just have to do something tomorrow that every dog owner needs or has to go through. Mm-hmm. And it's not my two puppies, but it's a dog that we have. And look, I got to put a fucking dog down tomorrow. That's what I got to do. And she lives with my parents, and my mommy and daddy love that little baby dog.
What kind of dog is it?
We rescue everything, motherfucker. I ain't no fancy lad.
Was this your girlfriend's dog? No. Was this your girlfriend's dog?
No, that dog died like 5 years ago. But I'm just saying, we rescue dogs, and sometimes they get pawned off on my parents.
Dude, I'm sorry to hear that. In all seriousness, because I didn't know you were going to go there. I didn't know what was wrong with you.
Well, I just a little.
Can I see the dog beforehand to know if it's necessary?
I have to go do it because my mom and dad can't do it.
Yeah, I remember doing that with my dog, man. One of the worst days of my life. One of the worst days of my life. It's very, very hard.
That's what you do.
Very hard.
That's just
how old is the dog?
It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter, Andy. It just doesn't matter. No, we rescued her, and she was. Well, she lived.
How long have you had the dog?
5 years.
Oh, that's it?
Well, she was like 6 years old when we rescued her. Yeah. So we just did it. She lived a great life, and now we have to put her down for reasons. Sorry, everyone. Today was kind of down anyway. It's a weird, hardcore time with the NHL, with reality with the NHL. And we had, a big boy on, man, that went through hardcore shit. Yeah. And so we just got done with him.
I know.
So it's like, I'm not, and then you bring my fucking dog up.
Well, you brought the dog up. What the
fuck you want me to do?
You brought the dog up. I didn't know you were going to bring up the dog.
It's all good. Like, it's all good. It's just, but we had a hardcore interview.
Well, we had a very serious interview, and it's a serious topic. It's a topic a lot of people are talking about on the heels of the Kyle Beach situation. Yeah. And so we had on, Sheldon Kennedy, who has lived the majority of the last, dozen years or so being an advocate, if not longer, 20 years. Yeah. Being an advocate for those who have been abused and really telling his story, man, which is it's a crazy story. And, you think about it and you're like, man, how does this happen? Yeah. But the reality is it does happen. Yeah.
And we talked about stuff too. And we know we have all you guys, man, like so many of you people that listen to this podcast who we love dearly all over the world. You guys have kids that are in fucking hockey. Mm-hmm. And you know how protective I am of Andy's kids because somebody needs to fucking protect them. I mean, let's be honest here.
Did you see Ty's...
Andy might write a fucking email or something. I'll put my fucking foot down.
You see Ty's team picture?
There's a difference.
His
You look good, dude. Now, I know you're doing his hair up before he goes to hockey. You don't have to make it like fucking slick it the fuck back. Like, what's up, baby? Like, I want my hair to go crazy because my helmet's falling off and I'm fucking going. You're combing it.
No.
You are. No. Don't fuck with me. I evaluate your children. I'm telling you because I worry about you as a father. Because they might not be your fucking kids anyway. But the point is, you keep doing that. Slick his fucking hair back
and let him fucking. And then he had a helmet on.
Let him headbang out there.
Then he had a helmet on.
Because if you do his hair back, he's like, I'm going to picture time. Now he puts his helmet on. He's like, I don't want to fucking run into cats because my hair's going to get fucked up.
He doesn't wear a helmet during
warm-ups,
dude. He doesn't wear a helmet during warm-ups.
All you parents know what I'm talking about. Look, when your kids go play hockey, it's not about what they just let them fucking make sure their skates are tight. Get them feeling good. Like, hit their pads a little bit. Like, let's go. Bump into people. Your chin strap falls out. Who cares? Your mouthpiece falls out. Get it. Pick it back up. It ain't about your hair. It ain't what the fuck you look like. Go out there and bang around a little bit. I want you to look like shit when you're done with this fucking game. I don't want you to come back and your hair's the same. I want you to look like shit. Like you can't, like you went through like battle. That's what I want. That's why I don't have kids. That's why I go through you on the podcast. I'm just saying. Am I wrong on that?
I don't know.
His hair looked too good.
It was picture day. I put some.
Is it every day's picture day?
No, it was
because last week the same shit.
No, that was the draft when he got his jersey.
Andy, enough's enough.
Okay, so yesterday was picture day, And in fact, the reality is, I'll be honest, I put some Keep It Handsome like stuff in there.
That's a different story.
Yeah, Keep It Handsome. Yeah, so that's how we do it.
But when you dress him up like he's going on
dress
a TV,
him up.
No, you're dressing him up like he
had his hockey gear on.
No, Andy. I know what you're doing. And you're dressing him up, and he's going on like he's going on a fucking Johnny Carson show. And he's not. He's battling the fucking corners, homeboy. You want his hair to go crazy. You want his helmet to fly off. You want shit to like get weird, like his fucking skates get fucked up because he fell into. That's what you want. That's when you know he's grinding. When he takes his helmet off and looks the same, that means like he's doing his daddy. He didn't have
the helmet on.
He's doing his daddy used to do.
He didn't have the helmet on yet.
I'm just saying.
He put the helmet on after that when he went out there for his first game.
You want to like get out of the practice like bam, like soaking wet, like oh god, I gotta fix my shin pads.
But next time I won't comb the hair. I won't like whatever because I never do, good. But it's picture day. You just had to have the flow going on.
All y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. What'd you do all weekend? By the way, what'd you do all weekend?
I golfed.
You golfed.
I golfed. I did shit to the house. I got 2 badass TVs put up on my. I have a very wealthy looking. What's it called?
It's not.
No, it's very wealthy looking.
Not.
It's a fireplace. Okay, that goes. You could see from one end like, and then the other one like over here. And I put a fat ass
see-through.
TV. Yes, see through. Mm-hmm. My house
but
is made of stone.
But it's got that gold. It's got
my
that gold.
My house is made of stone. Your house is made of plastic. So I got a badass stone fireplace. I put 2 TVs on the back. We put like a cool thing what a king would do back in the 1500s, where you put you make your fireplace and you put like you box it out and make it badass looking. Although they didn't have TVs back then, we have TVs now. So you kind of like resemble what they did.
Okay.
So I'm excited about it. Maybe you can come over and hang out. Don't invite kids. Because if you invite kids over to people's houses that don't have kids, I think that's disrespectful, in my opinion.
Listen, I was asked to be the ambassador for a turkey trot here in town. Okay,
what does that mean?
And it's like, well, you just show up.
That's a child.
No.
That's for a school.
No,
a turkey trot. That means you walk.
It was in like Olivet for like the city of Olivet. They were like, be the ambassador for the turkey trot.
Small town.
I don't think I can do it though, and it's really early in the morning.
Andy, are you shooting things?
No, you just show up at the turkey trot. It's like a 5K.
Andy, are you?
It's a 5K.
Saving people from a forest fire?
No.
Are you digging? Like, are you doing something manly? Anything like that?
Well, kind of. I mean, yeah, you have to run the 5K. That's
it's a 5K.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's a trot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's early in the morning on Thanksgiving.
Are you killing turkey to save children from
I don't think I
starvation?
can do it. I don't think I can do it.
No, you're not going to do it.
But, people are reaching out to me to do things for Thanksgiving. And
look,
my cameo, by the way, I kind of throw this out there real quick because I want people to know if you want a happy holidays mention or anything like that on Cameo, feel free to reach out to me.
I go 5 minutes.
My cameo is on sale.
I go 5 fucking
minutes. It's not about your cameo.
I go 5 minutes.
But my cameo.
You go 2 minutes and you act like you're cool.
It's great. I'm like a natural.
You're pretty good at it.
I'm natural at cameo.
Well, you should. You went to school for this shit. You've been on TV for a long time. You're good at asking questions. You're really good at asking questions, on particularly this interview, where you dug into and you got some good answers from Sheldon in different ways. And
not an easy interview to do.
God, dude,
I'm like, my mind right now is all scrambled right now. Man. It's like we just did the interview, and it's a very, serious topic, man. And
I know, but we got to do these, dude.
Yes.
And people look, you got to think, again, our audience, guys are driving in Manitoba right now. Guys are doing shit. They're sitting in the office. They got the phone on. Like, we want to entertain you. But
you ever been to Manitoba? Yeah. Oh, yeah, you've been there. Winnipeg.
Yeah, I have, Andy. Have you?
Saskatchewan, you ever been there? You probably haven't been there. You never. You think so?
I don't know.
You wouldn't survive in Saskatchewan.
Oh, really?
No, you wouldn't survive out there on the fucking prairie.
Not with.
You wouldn't know what to do.
No, I wouldn't. And neither would you, Dick.
Sure,
I'm not telling you. No, but I'm a grunt working motherfucker. Like you tell me to go fucking hack some shit off, carry it somewhere, grunt work shit. I'll fucking do it. You want me to go like take care of business somewhere? If you need me to protect a child from the woods for 2 days and protect him or her from any like wildlife and stuff and survive, I'll do that. But if you want me to put a shelf together.
You ever had to survive outdoors for like, a few days in a row?
Yeah, I mean,
it's either happened or it didn't happen.
No, we did crazy shit. We lived out in the middle of the woods. My parents were very lenient. They were gone working all the fuck time. And me and my brother were outdoors all day, and we just did shit.
Well, you didn't sleep out there.
We would make little houses in the middle of fucking woods and be like, we're making fun.
Every kid played in the woods.
Andy, you lived in the city.
No, I didn't.
You lived close to the city. I lived way the fuck out in the middle of Nowhereville. Who are you kidding? Dude, we were way out there, man.
Did you have to survive? That was the question.
Well, no. I mean,
Like
you could
survival.
just walk back to your house, but like we wanted to act like we had to. And so all our neighbors were very like outdoorsy, and you just learn shit. You learn shit. You hung out with little nerd boys in a white, pink BMWs, convertible, listen to rap music. That's what you were doing while I'm out there fucking building fires and shit.
You know, back in the day, I think it was in 8th grade, maybe it was 7th grade, there was a dance group called 8th Wonder, and I was in that group for a little while. You know, there was like a bunch, they were like real dancers, and then I kind of jumped in on it.
Little boy band?
Yeah, kind of.
You do look like a little boy band. You do look like that.
If we would have stuck with it, who knows what would have happened with that.
You look cute,
The 8th Wonder.
Dye your hair like blonde. You look like you're in a boy band. You do.
Hey, I got a couple.
Although you got to tighten your body up a little bit, though. Those guys are cut up.
Well,
you got
pretty good right
You got
now.
the style for it, but not.
I got a couple hockey things to bring up with you, though. Everybody's getting COVID. All these guys are getting COVID and whatever.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
I had talked to Bill Daly earlier in the week about these teams not being given cap relief for those who have.
What are we doing?
Well, so here's the deal. Let me just get this straight. So you can trade players that have been retired basically for like 2 years that have no intention of playing. Okay? So teams can use that salary to get to the floor or whatever because they have the money or the cap space, whatever, to eat dead cap money. Yet the league won't give teams who have no control over COVID tests.
Which they don't even know they have.
They're
COVID.
unexpected. They're unforeseen, yet you may get several at once and potentially not even be able to field
You're calling up
an entire
East
roster,
Coast
or
guys.
you can't call up the players you want to call up because of bonuses, as in the case with the Blues, Scott Perunovich, who's a kid who, obviously is one of their best prospects, just crushing it down in the minors right now, but with his bonuses, that factors into his cap hit, so they couldn't call him up. So you can trade like Pavel Datsyuk and Chris Pronger and all these guys.
Yeah, they're all playing for fucking and David
But
Clarkson.
you
my buddy.
can't give these teams a little cap flexibility because they've got COVID cases?
And we chirped we chirped Carlo and those guys for Toronto. This has nothing to do with mathematics. This is like bad luck. You're testing every 2 fucking seconds. These guys are all double vaccinated out the wazoo, the best shape possible. And they're like, I got COVID? Oh, by the way, go stand over there for 10 days straight and don't do anything. You sure I got COVID? Oh, I don't feel anything. Okay, I got COVID. Okay, now your defenseman goes there. Now your captain goes. Now your goalies go. But now you can't call anybody up to take. What are you going to do? Am I going to play? You might be playing for him for nothing. What are we going to do? Like, what if that keeps going? How do you? Not
I would
get
love
COVID?
to take a shift.
But here's the deal.
No, I would love to take a
and
shift.
you look like a
on
jackass.
right wing.
But why are they testing so much? Aren't they all
They're testing
vaccinated?
every 3 days.
Why are they doing that?
You think they should take on the NBA?
Now, the NHLPA is the one that agreed to that, by the way. So so I get it, but they didn't. You don't know anything. Look, 6 months ago, you don't know what the fuck's going to happen. Everything's different. Everything changes. Like, adapt to the situation. NHL. We talked about that earlier. They're not ahead of the curve with fucking anything. The only reason why they're good is because the product's good. The product's good. They're fast. The guys are cool. But they're so far behind in every fuck thing. It's ridiculous.
Like what?
Just anything. Well, what the fuck we just
This
talk about?
Chicago shit.
What we just talk about for fucking 2 hours? Like, just shit. They're just nerdy. Mm-hmm. They don't do shit. They finally got TNT. It's all good. Biz is awesome. That kind of shit. But they're just out of touch. They're out of touch. Then they reach hard and we're gonna make this for you. And people are like, oh, okay. Like,
I know.
Get the fuck out of here.
So the NHL,
so
you think
dumb.
the NHL is out of touch?
It's out of touch
in comparison to the other leagues. It's not even close.
They're followers. They're followers, man. They are.
Mm-hmm. Now,
the product's good. Like, the players are fun. The game's awesome. Even if there's no fighting and all that shit, like, people bitch, they're still crushing each other. Like, there's emotion. Guys are getting cut in the face, doing this. Like, it's like crazy shit. Look at the highlights on SportsCenter. Watch basketball highlights. I'll be like, I'll guarantee you, I'll bet you $1 million what's going to happen. Oh, a dunk. Mm-hmm. What's going to happen? Football's different. Football, crazy shit can happen. Watch baseball highlights. Oh, double play, home run, strikeout, not even double play, home run, all same shit. Hockey, you're like, what the fuck's McDavid gonna do? Mm-hmm. Is there a big fucking elbow? Or is this going on, blah, blah, blah?
No, but they don't show those things.
They don't show shit.
They just show the goals and breakaways.
They don't show the emotion. It has to be like a picture-perfect fight scenario for them to show it. Show the fucking emotion.
Where do you rank that?
You guys are so far
Where do you rank that
McDavid?
That McDavid goal.
I like Ovi's back check better.
Me too, man. I said that on Twitter. Let me just say it real quick.
Get hot takes out because I will today.
You can give a hot take, but hang on. People were like being critical of what I said on Twitter because I said I like watching that back check just as much as I do, if not more, than McDavid's goal. Like I couldn't stop watching that. And people are like, "What are you talking about? It's one of the greatest goals ever." I'm like, dude, we're talking about arguably the greatest goal scorer in the history of the game, one of the highest paid players ever, trying to catch Wayne Gretzky and break Wayne Gretzky's record.
Come on.
And he's diving on a back check.
Jumping in. Get on.
You'll never see anybody like him again, man. I'm telling you.
Thank you. I knew when I posted that, and somebody was like, you're being a bitch. I'm like, that was kind of a little pansy. That motherfucker's awesome. And not just in his hockey sense or realm or whatever. He's cool as fuck. And he's a Russian. If he was an American, good old fucking guy from from Michigan, or a good old Canadian boy from Saskatchewan that you could just relate to a little bit more, everything he does is cool. Mm-hmm. Everything. He'll knock you out with a hit. He'll knock you out with a punch. He'll spear in your fucking nuts. He'll do crazy offensive things. He's going to catch guys in the fucking. He's the coolest player in the league by far. And you're going to have a Russian statue in goddamn Washington, D.C. And everybody's going to love it.
I know.
Everybody, and you better love it and walk by him and fucking do whatever. He's a fucking man. I just like him. I like him better than McDavid. McDavid's better. Like, he's better at things, fine. But Ovi's the man in different ways than McDavid is. Does that make sense? He just is.
Well, it's always been Ovi versus Crosby his entire career.
And Crosby's in a different little spectrum of shit.
He's different than McDavid.
Yeah, I know. But Ovi is just fucking cool. He's got little Ovi Jr. Everything he does is funny.
Dude, when he came in, he had the tinted visor. He had the red toques on his skates.
And here's another thing. When he won,
he goes immediate style.
He doesn't give a fuck. He goes out there in goddamn sandals, like the pussy sandals you got on, which I could push you over right now. If a tornado hit, you'd be fucked. But Ovi could
We don't get tornadoes here.
Yeah, we do. But Ovi could do that. He goes out there and throws the first pitch. He waterboards himself like a Guantanamo Bay psycho. Mm-hmm. Then he goes and crushes, knocks his other tooth out, drinking. He's the fucking man. And Washington, you're lucky, man. You got that motherfucker. And he's going to be around all the goddamn time. His kid's going to go to school in the U.S. You kidding? He's going to be staying
Says
there.
Who? How do you know?
I just think so.
Well, you act like you have some personal insight.
Well, he might be working for the, you go back to Russia you could be on the fucking high-end spectrum of shit.
Yeah. You think you got inside information? You don't know Russian politics.
No, I don't, Andy. You're right. And I'm not a little insider and fucking geek like you. But I know, United States is the best of the best, and that motherfucker's staying here. My point was...
I don't know. Kobe didn't stay. Nobody else stays.
Kobe got a job, and he's fucking GM in the Olympics. And
Fedorov.
And that's a different
Fetisov.
No doubt. But if you're in a higher...
Larionov spends half the time here.
Go down to Florida and see how many Russians are down there.
There's a lot during the offseason.
Get on with yourself. My point was that you have a gem, and he's the best of the best, and he's the most outspoken dude and cool as fuck, and just appreciate it. Mm-hmm. And I tweeted something nerdy out and said I want him to play forever, but I kind of do, Andy. He's awesome.
Well, he might.
And you complimented me on that, and I appreciate that.
What'd I say?
Well, you just said he's the best.
The best.
He's the fucking best.
He is the best.
Dude.
He is the best.
Right, that's it. I didn't mean to get political.
But let me just say this, and I may have said this already because he signed that 5-year extension, and everyone's trying to say he needs to score this many goals in the next 5 years. That dude will play 8 years, 9 years, whatever it takes to pass Gretzky. He's not going to retire until he passes him. So
and he ain't leaving the Capitals either. Meaning, that. How cool is that? It just doesn't happen. I watched a thing on Mario Lemieux the other day, by the way, and how what he did with the Penguins, and God, they were in a jam. This a little thing I watch on YouTube with these podcasts that just have different little sectors on people, and the Mario Lemieux thing, and what he had to do, and how he came back. My point is they're comparing McDavid to Gretter, but I'm saying, and this is just me, and I'm throwing hot takes out like a motherfucker, that Mario, if he was healthy, I would take him over, I think, anybody.
Over Wayne?
I don't know, homeboy.
No.
I just don't
Mario,
know. I'm just
look
saying.
at his numbers.
He
didn't even play 1,000 games.
I know. He had cancer, and his back was...
Did anybody dominate...
Man.
Less than 100% like him.
So is McDavid at his highest in Mario, when Mario was... and guys are hooking and clutching like, oh, God, Andy, you know. You go back and watch those 90s.
Mario could come in and have like 160 points in like 50
What would he
games.
do now? And I know we're comparing. I know.
In today's game?
I want to get all you riled up anyway because I love all y'all. You're driving your fucking truck in Saskatchewan. Doesn't matter. Mario at his best was, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hard. I can't.
I know. I've thought about that too. It's almost like you're not allowed to say anybody's better than Gretzky.
No.
You can't say that.
I'm not even saying Gretzky. I'm just saying that everybody's putting McDavid in. I'm like, Mario.
Oh, I would take Mario over McDavid.
Fuck yeah.
I would take Mario over. I would take Gretzky over McDavid. I would take Mario over McDavid. And
What about Bobby Orr? If you had a draft, if you, I know.
I didn't really get to see Bobby Orr.
I know, neither did I.
Play. So I don't know.
I didn't really want. Mario was the guy when I was growing up.
Oh yeah,
even Gretter. It was Mario, dude.
It was both of them.
That motherfucker. He walked Super Mario. His name too. You're just like, God.
Yeah.
He saved. Pittsburgh was leaving. They were gone, dude. They were fucked. Their ownership group was fucked, and Mario came in. He brought.
Would you take Ovechkin over McDavid?
That's a great question.
In his prime.
Okay.
And would you take Crosby over McDavid in his prime?
Well, that's the thing. So if you look at this, and it's back in 2006 or whatever you want to call it, and you had the best of the best, and you had a draft pick where those three guys are there at 18 years old, who were you taking? I would probably say this. I'm taking Crosby.
I'm taking Crosby too.
I'm sorry.
I just think
I'm just saying.
He's not the flashiest, but he can be flashy. But he just
more of a winner.
He's a winner, man. Yeah, and maybe McDavid is going to evolve into being that player where he becomes a winner. And
this is right now. This is right here and right now.
Yeah.
I would actually do this. And because we're older and I played against, it doesn't matter. I would probably take Crosby, Ovi to start. But Ovi was hardcore. Ovi was a Russian. Mm-hmm. He didn't know.
No, he had to change.
He had to change.
Yeah.
Or McDavid, I think if you put some, like, I don't know. That's a tough one. But as of right now, Crosby would be my number one out of those three. I want to hear from you guys too. Fucking tweet at us. Let us know. We love this shit. We don't talk about this that much, but
are you believing in Edmonton? Like, do you have a different feel for them now than you did maybe in previous years? Do you love Darnell Nurse?
Yeah, I do. He's making good money, but he just seems like a fucking cool cat, man. Mm-hmm. Like, he's tough. He can move. He could open his hips up. He could play. He could get up in the play. He could shoot. He'll hit you. He'll fight. He'll call the goalie out and be like, go fight that motherfucker, you pussy. Mm-hmm. Go fucking fight him, pussy. And they go, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's got control of the ice a little bit, but he's making good money.
All right, so the Jack Eichel situation finally happens and whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now he got traded. It's no surprise he went to Vegas. It's so funny. Vegas,
funny,
they just want everybody. They find a way to get everybody. Like, who's Vegas going to be? I always wonder, are they going to be terrible in 5 years, or are they going to have like three other superstars and get rid of the guys they have in their roster now and like interchange them for other superstars?
Great question. So if you're sitting in, I don't know, somewhere where you're just like, you're not getting what you want and you're just like, we're not winning. Like, you want to go there. Like, that's just like a destination.
I had a player tell me earlier in the week.
Money,
I said
everything.
When I was talking to a player. They said, "Hey, what's going on with Eichel? Is he going to end up going Calgary or Vegas?" And this is kind of when Calgary was being mentioned and rumored and whatever. Yeah. And I said, "Well, word is he's going to Vegas. It sounds like he's going to Vegas." I go, "They want everybody, and he's the next little shiny little toy, so he's going to end up in Vegas." He goes, "That's why I love Vegas." So players, they love that too.
Andy, another thing too. Even if you're not a superstar, which you don't have to work anymore, if you're a $2 million guy and you're fun, Reaver to whoever, a fucking hard work, if I was playing in whatever.
No, you can make a name for yourself there, man.
You can make a name, not to mention name for yourself with the people there.
No, but you're off the ice.
You're making a name for yourself with Tom Brady that comes in, or with fucking monsters and with big superstars. I know that sounds weird and like, oh, it's about, but in a business way.
If you're smart, if you have a personality like Ryan Reeves, you can do that. Some guys just don't have that.
Well, didn't have one then,
I know.
Andy.
A lot of guys don't.
Well, my point is, like, if I'm looking at it, I would be like, God damn right. I would do shit. I would do shit for casinos. I would do shit for gambling stuff. I would do stuff for charities there. Yeah. You have every super UFC. Everyone watches UFC. Badass fucking fights.
I'm well aware of UFC.
No, you don't know.
I follow it very closely, as a matter of fact. Yeah, no, the main events.
Well, you really don't know.
No, I know more.
No, you don't.
Way more than you let on, dude.
Badass fucking fights last weekend.
It's okay.
It's all about like building your name and being big in UFC because you're all so confident. But every big dog goes to those games or those fights.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. And then all the people, you meet people and stuff like that. Oh, sorry. You got something to say?
No, I think
I'm
it's
sorry.
great.
Am I talking too much?
I think it's great.
You want to talk about your stupid fucking tree or your 4.0 student next door?
Across the street.
Yeah, which we don't give a fuck about until he fucking cures COVID. Right? Well, Craig Bruby's like, oh, you keep talking about this shit. Tell that guy to cure COVID so they don't have to get these guys on COVID. I don't know, man. I'm sorry.
COVID's not going away, though, man.
It's not.
Today is an odd day, man. You got a lot going on personally with your dog.
Why are you bringing fucking shit? I was in a good mood. I was going.
We had Sheldon Kennedy, very deep conversation coming up here with Sheldon Kennedy here on the Cam and Strick podcast presented by Hair Club.
That's what we do, homie. That's what we do.
Hair Club, by the way, they've got like 1,200 locations throughout North America. Yeah. So I always say, like, you just stick your head out the window, like they will hear you. There's probably one right down the street. No matter where you are, like there's one right down the street with solutions for everybody. So, what did you say?
Stick your head out the window. Their hair clubs are like,
your hair goes. I
just look it up
in the wind too.
Mine doesn't.
Well, no, yours does.
The front part does.
All different types of solution. What kind of solutions did you have? Did you get a solution?
Shampoo and conditioner, motherfucker. And they got this thing that you put on your head.
Yes.
A cap. It's actually a cap.
Oh, like a shower cap?
No. Actually,
like a baseball hat?
Yes. Like what the fuck you got
like a local legend hat that I have on right now?
Fucking hair. And they
I just colored it, and it looks good right now.
I'll evaluate in a second. But they have a cap where you press a button and it goes yank, and it goes and it takes all the fibers. I guess it's like a thing where it builds up your hair.
So it's like medicating your hair while you have it on.
Yeah, and takes your hair and goes. I'm gonna have a moment.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. Again, so for anybody out there, this is for men and women. Though we always like to make sure we point that out. It's for the women too, not just for the men. People bald in all different types of ways, in mysterious ways, Cam. Like, there's several ways to go bald.
I like how you say that, mysterious ways. Yeah. Look, motherfucker, I just went bald, okay? Don't try to, it's nothing mysterious about it. My great-grandfather probably was bald as fuck. And he's like, Cameron, I'm going to give you my shit-kicking jeans, but I'm going to give you my fucking bald jeans.
What would you rather have, the hair jeans or the shit-kicking jeans?
Fucking shit-kick. Get on with yourself. Because I can go to Hair Club and be like, oh, this hooked me up. I want the shit kicker jeans.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't be doing a podcast with you.
I hear you. Let me hook people up, though. 800-279-7878. 800-279-7878. Hairclub.com/Cam and Strick. Listeners who call that number or set up a consultation on the Cam and Strick landing page will receive $250 off select solutions.
Let's go.
$250 off. www.hairclub.com/Cam and Strick.
Let's go.
And again, that phone number, 800-279-7878. 279-7878.
Take your hat off right quick. Take your hat. Right. Yeah, you're all right. You're all right. No, you look good.
Yeah.
You look good.
Yeah, thanks.
Your hair's fine.
Yeah.
Look, I'll critique. Well, you take your shirt off is a different story. But, your sandals look stupid. But your teeth look good. Your hair looks fine. You look good on TV the other day. I did say this to my wife. We're watching, and Kate's like, hey, Andy's on. I'm like, oh, yeah. Keep your glasses on.
Oh, really?
I like your glasses.
Yeah, but not when they have that green reflector that's coming.
Well, then fucking write an email. Put your glasses on. They look good. You look sophisticated. You look smart. I need you to look smart.
That's important.
I need the brand to be good. No, you look good, man.
Yeah, seriously. No, appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. Anaheim all of a sudden is the real deal. We've got a great Anaheim guest coming up.
Oh.
Very soon, by the way. We're not going to release that yet, but we're going to have that coming up very soon, too.
Bad boy.
That's kind of my team all of a sudden. I know they just beat St. Louis and whatever, but
here's how I look at Anaheim.
They've got some young players that I like watching play,
Sure. But they're just sitting on the beach, making a fire, living a life, making
a fort.
Money. Cougs are cruising by like, oh, hi. What do you guys do?
You think it's harder for them to focus on hockey out there or what?
Nah. Dude, you want to talk to girls everywhere you're at, man. You're in New York, you're in fucking Ottawa. Actually, it's probably easier there because they're walking by the beach and you're like, hi. And you're like, what do you guys? Oh, I'm not a guy that owns a business or a tech guy. Nerdy fuck. No, I'm a fucking hockey player. What's up, girl? And then it's just easy. So then you don't have to go like in Ottawa where you have to like bounce around clubs just to find a good looking. I don't know. It's just easy.
Yeah.
But if you're banging girls all the time.
Getzlaf is playing. He's having a renaissance too.
Great guy.
Shiny head.
Stop chirping about that.
I'm just saying.
No, you did it right off the bat. Stop doing that.
No, he could.
He's your hair ain't that
passer,
good,
dude.
Your hair ain't that.
I'm just saying.
Like
his hair,
if you were to make fun of his teeth, that's where
I'm not doing
your
that.
good spot is.
I'm saying like he must like shave it and shine it like right before every game because it's perfectly bald.
Worry about your teeth.
Like
your teeth are good. You can't chirp people for like
he's perfectly bald, dude.
Yeah, but your hair's not that good to be like.
No, but he looks like he's bald intentionally. Like it's like if he wanted to have hair,
he's bald and he just slicks it. Get out.
It's like he slicks it back. What do you mean slicks it back?
No, he shaves his goddamn head, so he doesn't want you chirping. Your hair ain't that good to chirp.
I'm not chirping him.
We just brought it up.
He's about to get to 1,000 points.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, no, he's a sick player. Well, he came on with us. He was great. He's very good friend of mine.
You brought that everything up, brother. So Getsy, how's that bald head doing? Like Jesus,
he talked about it.
I know, but you brought it up. Right?
Well, Hair Club's our sponsor, dude.
Well, it wasn't at the time.
It can help a lot of people.
It wasn't at the time.
Can help a lot of people.
Yeah, it can.
He's into cars too, like I am. We got a lot of things in common. Sick vision.
You're not into cars.
Passing ability. Well, I'm getting more and more into cars.
You have a Volvo
racing series.
What does that do?
It fucking goes faster.
It goes. It's fine in water.
I have racing series with silver mirrors. Like the regular ones have black mirrors. These have silver mirrors.
Andy's he races boats too. Well, why do you race boats, Andy? Well, I was in Lake Tahoe and I rented a boat with a guy that drove it. So I race boats now.
Well, hey,
is that your motto?
Right, boat racing is very dangerous, actually. Steve Ott's dad grew up racing boats, being a boat racer. Yeah, Butchie, back in the day.
He was so good to me, man. Butchie out right there, baby. He was so good. He was better than me.
Was Otter nice to you?
He was a dick.
I don't think he was very nice to you.
He was a dick to me.
I could tell.
Yeah, but I was cocky as shit, and I deserved it.
Like he ever do anything crazy, like try to fight you or anything like that?
I would have fucked him up.
Would you?
Oh my
Even
God,
back
yeah.
then?
Oh my God, yeah.
Because
he was shit stopping heavies in the league.
Was he not fighting heavies in the O?
Hell no. No, he's scoring 50 goals.
He did. But he kind of was like a little unpredictable in the NHL.
He'll hit you from behind and shit.
He will. He'll stick you or something.
But they had monsters before me, but then I took over.
Yeah.
Ask him. Why can't he come on the podcast? Can we make this happen?
Well, we're gonna make it happen.
Talk to Army.
We got to talk to Army about that.
We love Army.
Yes.
I need him on. It will have nothing to do with the Blues.
We have a side deal with Army.
We have nothing. It will have nothing to do with the Blues. It'll just be like, let me just talk to you. He's awesome.
All right. Before we get into the interview, anything you want to talk about in regards to Sheldon Kennedy?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know.
Like, set up the interview. Like, why were you? It was nervous. Cam came out today.
I didn't know how to.
He was like, his mind is on other things. It's on other things today.
No, it wasn't. It was on him. I just. You're just better at asking questions.
Not really. It's like not the easiest thing to talk about.
You know how to present a question better than me, and I just, I'm just not good at. If he was sitting right next to me, different story. But when you're on the phone, I don't know him. I'm good at deep conversations. If it were Brody sitting right now,
you see his hair when he was rollerblading across Canada.
I tried to.
I had hair like that in high school.
No, you didn't.
No, I did. Like long hair like that.
He had red hair though.
Red. No, you watched the wrong documentary. You were not watching the one I watched. Because he does not have red hair.
Dyed it.
No, it's like brown. I have brown hair. But he had longer hair like I did in high school.
Andy, when there's a reddish, like a little reddish theme to the hair, it's red.
Theme? Like highlights?
No. His hair was red when he was a kid, and his hair was red, and maybe it's brown now.
It wasn't red, dude. It was not red. But we'll get into it. I mean, obviously,
be lucky your hair's not.
But he's a guy who is helping a lot of people.
Tons.
It's a very timely subject right now, unfortunately, because of what took place within the Blackhawks organization. And Sheldon Kennedy's name was brought up a lot over the course of the last few weeks. He knows Kevin Cheveldayoff, going back to their days playing junior hockey together. And Cheveldayoff obviously now being the GM in Winnipeg, his big press conference. He was there in Chicago at the time. And, Sheldon Kennedy's name continues to come up, like I said. In fact, he even discloses in the interview that he's meeting with the NHL later on this week.
As he should.
And he's going to give them some suggestions and kind of help lead the way in terms of what they can do to prevent this type of stuff from happening in the future.
Well, it was a tough conversation. I mean, it really was. Well, you did good, man. You did good with questions. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to get into. Dude, we didn't even get into the bus crash situation.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible.
How horrible. Like, dude,
4 kids died.
Man, I tried to ask a question, though, Andy. I'm not going to lie to you.
Swift Current Broncos.
I tried to ask a question about, just like everybody bashes the NHL right now, They kind of do. Like, the NHL.
Who's bashing the NHL?
Writers. Just as a whole. And the NHL's fucked up, and we chirped them. Because they're followers.
Can I ask you this?
No, I'm not done.
I want to get an honest response from you.
I'm not done yet. Mm-hmm. But the NHL saved me, dude. Like the hockey saved me as a whole, and I was trying to ask him that question, but I veered off to something else. We might have to edit that mug. I don't give a fuck. But I'm saying as a whole, if your parents out there, which that's what people are listening. Like,
what are the warning signs to pay attention to?
No doubt,
man?
but hockey's still good as a whole.
It's
for
great
your girl,
as a whole.
For your fucking kid, get him into it. You'll just look for the goddamn signs and be good to your kid so he's not. Look, the common denominator, like his dad was a fucking asshole. Like he was. You can't go to his dad. Like if I went to my dad, he'd be like, "What happened?" Mm-hmm. My dad loves me to death. Even when I was fucked up, like, he fucking loved me. So, like, he didn't have that. Like,
it's hard to
good goddamn parent. How's that?
It's hard to put yourself in the shoes.
I know, man.
Of a lot of these individuals, because on the surface, what might make sense just doesn't make sense at the same time. Because for whatever reason, it doesn't happen. So
be there for your kid, Andy.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
I mean, come on.
What do you make out of some of these journalists that are out there that do a lot of positive things by shedding a lot of information and a lot of light on some of these issues, yet there's a lot of negativity in terms of trying to bring a lot of different people down at the same time? Like, I'm curious what your take is on this.
Look, not everybody's equally involved with anything. Like, they're just not.
Because some are going after the sponsors for the Blackhawks, and my thing is like, okay, listen, all the bad people with the Blackhawks, they're all out of there now for the most part.
They're out of there.
There may be 1 or 2 left, who knows, but whatever. Like, do we need to take down the entire Blackhawks organization, like, so they just go down, go under, have no money, no sponsorship money?
What does that do?
Notre Dame hockey, I mean, some of that stuff.
The girls hockey, the boys hockey, the kids stuff, like, what does that do then? If you get rid of the people and put new people in, that's fine. But if you want to shun the whole league or shun a whole organization, even though they fired everybody, like this, they go through transitions. Like, they fucked up. Like, Joe Quenneville's going to be, like, he's in a tough spot.
You think he'll ever coach again?
Probably not.
I don't think he will.
So think about that. Like, yeah, I know he's got money. He might get sued. Like, I don't know. Like, he's going to go through shit the rest of his life. It's going to age him.
I don't know.
It's like you know what you mean? You don't know. You don't think
I mean, he'll buy more horses and do his horse racing stuff and just like.
Going through lawsuits every fucking.
Well, you
day?
think he's going to have lawsuits?
Why wouldn't you?
I don't know if he will. I mean, are there any that you know of? I mean, are you breaking news with us right now? Is he being sued?
No, I'm not a fucking nerd like you. I told you.
I mean, apparently you have some like information for us that you that no one else knows.
He might be in some kind of lawsuit with the Blackhawks. Like, why'd you let that go down? Mm-hmm. Like, if I'm a family, I'm like, why would, as a coach, didn't you just hear Sheldon Kennedy talk about this? He's like, coaches need to be more involved, like knowing what's going on. Like, you can't just rely on hierarchy. Like, you're the coach. He relies on you. He might be fucked.
He might be. Well, he already is, because he lost millions of dollars.
What do you do the rest of your life
contract.
Then? Are you going to go to rinks? What are you going to do? You're going to sit on your thing? Everybody you talk to is going to, everything's associated with that.
He was already in the twilight of his coaching career anyway.
I'm just saying, the rest of your life, dude, that's the whole thing that people think about you. Mm-hmm. It sucks. Just one decision to get rid of some fucking weirdo. Just get rid of him.
No, it's got to suck.
Get the fuck rid of him.
Nobody wants their legacy to be tarnished or to ever go down in this type of controversy. Well, same goes with Stan Bowman, too. I mean, like, you know.
He fucked up. I mean, just can't Andy, you're a coach, dude. If even assistant
you know,
coach,
we get trained on that.
What does that mean?
Well,
everybody gets trained for everything.
We have to take a test and all that.
Let me give you an
know?
example. Like, if you're just sitting there and you're an assistant coach, and you're part of everything, and some weird dad's trying to get involved, and he's just weird. He's just fucking weird. You put your fucking foot down.
100%.
Like, it didn't have to do anything. He's just weird. He's weird. You look at a guy and do something. Even if he's not, nothing like that. You get him out of there. Like, it goes up every single, category you go up, AAA to whatever. It doesn't matter. You're in AAA, dude. This ain't no fucking joke.
No.
You're in hardcore fucking people paying a lot of money. One weirdo, you'd get rid of him in so quick. I mean, come on.
Right away. No hesitation. No hesitation.
No hesitation, man.
My bookie, I have no hesitation either when I go to place my bets with my bookie right now. I am red hot. Like, I never knew how. Is it easy or is it
no,
not?
not?
Well, the way I'm having success right now, the way I'm just pumping these out, and I use that promo code Cam Strick, baby. They double my money. Cam Strick, they will double your money up to $1,000. Go to mybookie.ag and go there today. I mean, Toronto's red hot right now. They've won 5 straight. Are you starting to believe in Toronto? Because now they're starting to settle in a little bit.
I don't know.
Well, they have. Like, their best players are starting to score.
That's fun.
Matthews is scoring.
What does that mean?
Marner's scoring.
That they're going to be good in the regular season?
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah, of course they will.
Yeah, they're starting to be good in the regular season.
5 weeks ago.
That they'd be okay?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they're going to be okay. They have top scores on the team, but
Chicago's winning now too. Ever since they fired their coach, now they're winning.
They might be good. They should be.
Who's the worst team in the league?
That's a good question. Phoenix or Arizona?
It is. Like, is it Chicago? Is it? Because here's the thing: is it the team that you knew would be bad and they're terrible, or the team that was supposed to be good and they're terrible? Like, there's different ways I look at it.
Arizona just doesn't have anything. They don't have.
How many games will they win? What's the over/under? 12?
20.
They're not getting to 20. There's zero chance they'll win 20 games this year.
You don't think so?
No.
20?
Will not win 20. But I watch them play. I'm like, okay, this guy's not a bad player. That guy's not a bad player. This guy. They pulled their goalie 59 seconds into the game, dude. He let in 2 shots. First 2 shots, they pulled the goalie, then they came back and won the game.
Vancouver's going to be okay, too. I think it's going to be fine.
Vancouver's all right. For some reason, Vancouver, they can never just get over the hump. Yeah. They're like the same team every year.
I know. They've been around a long time, too.
Like, they got a lot of good players.
Yeah, they do.
I don't get Vancouver. Vancouver's the one team I just don't understand.
They just can't do. What are you?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
because they've got all these guys: Besser, Pedersen, JT Miller. They got all these guys who are good ass players now.
Oh boy, 2 on D.
Oh yeah,
Quincy
Hughes. No, they got a bunch of guys. They're a little small in the back end. They're not great
bad.
defensively.
I don't want to play Ottawa. If I'm a team, I'm like, I got to play Ottawa.
They're all right.
They'll hit you though. Like, at least they have some kind of identity.
A little bit.
Where Arizona's like,
Arizona has none.
They have nothing going. I feel bad for Clayton Keller, man. I love him. Such a sweetheart of a guy.
Yeah. Well,
he's eating good food.
What's your message to Clayton?
Get the fuck out of there.
I don't think he can.
I don't think he can either. Just make your money and just be happy.
Like, Kessel's the next one to go.
Well, it's just like, how about this?
But they're hanging on to 1 or 2 of them.
How about this?
It appears Keller's one of them.
Here's Keller. Here's my message to you, homeboy. Buy a nice house down there. Find a cute girl that loves you unconditionally.
Yes.
And have a house over the mountains and just live your life and save your money.
Score some goals.
At
the same time.
Down there, dude.
Yeah.
And play golf.
Eventually they'll be good.
Live a good life?
Eventually they'll be good. They're going to have the first overall pick. Like, it's going as planned for Arizona. It's not like they're off course. Like, this is what they wanted. They don't want to be the embarrassment of the league. So maybe not lose every game, but they still want.
You don't think they win 20 games?
Watch them not get the first overall pick either.
Oh, fuck.
You know, like,
actually, I don't want them to.
You know, think if you're the Buffalo Sabres. They tanked on purpose. They specifically tanked to get Connor McDavid, and they ended up with Jack Eichel, who they just traded away. So think about how bad that was. They tanked on purpose. What they did to their fans, their fan base, tanking. I hate tanking.
Oh, baseball tanking.
I just hate tanking. So they tank, and they don't even get the first overall pick. So not only do they lose out on McDavid, but then their relationship with Eichel was just filled with drama, and they had to trade his ass.
He's got bad hair too, eh?
I don't know. It's not bad.
His hair?
It looks okay. Is it that bad? He's got curly hair. Well, what are you trying to say? Are you chirping his hair?
I just was throwing something.
He's a big fan of the. He's a fan of the podcast.
He's pretty good. So it's like you get McDavid. I get that, man, but he's still pretty good. I want them to be good in Buffalo. I do.
Oh, I like. Well, I'm from Buffalo. You know that originally, so I've got a lot of roots there and whatever. But they love the game, man.
They love it, man.
Yeah. So
now they're not selling out anymore because of the restrictions in Canada.
Yeah. Butcher Gross even offered to buy everyone a beer or something like that.
Did he play?
I don't know.
He played?
I know he might have back in the day. He might have. I'm not sure.
Do
you know?
I don't know. That's why I asked you.
I don't know. I'm sure he did.
He's going to buy what?
I'm sure he did. Played for somebody.
What's he going to buy?
He was going to buy everyone a beer at the game in Buffalo.
So why would they want to go hang out with somebody that's going to talk about him and shit? You think they're just going to go? He's going to buy him all?
Well, I think at the game, maybe he was going to. Everyone was going to get a beer.
The players?
Free beer.
Oh.
No, the fans.
Fans. Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
And if they sold out, but they didn't sell out.
I thought he was taking the boys out.
No.
I'm like, what the fuck?
No.
They ain't going out with him.
No, he was going to buy all the fans a beer if they sell out the.
That's cool,
yeah, so that was cool.
He makes good money. All right.
Yeah. So how much would that have cost, do you think? 8 times, you got to figure probably
how many people were there? 7,000?
Probably 10,000 fans that are 21 and over.
10,000.
Well, you got to be 21 or over.
5,000 times 10? No,
something like that.
7,000 times 10.
What is that? How much are we talking?
I don't know, Andy.
Can you come up with that off the top of your head?
Well, Brody's just sitting there. You can just go on your phone if you want to.
So my bookie, how you doing with my bookie?
I'm good.
Well, tell people to go there.
We'll go there. Absolutely go there. And we'll give you, hockey's different when it comes to things, by the way. So I like to look at the teams that will go into places where I'm gonna make $150 on this. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna make 100. Throw down a bet 100.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make $150.
Yeah.
I believe that, let's see, somebody's gonna beat Tampa. Somebody's gonna beat Florida here. Arizona's gonna win.
Tampa's
some games.
gonna lose in the first round this year.
Or Detroit's gonna go out and do something at home.
They're fun to watch. They're fun to watch.
So if even Florida,
Tyler Bertuzzi,
he's good. So even if Florida or Tampa or somebody like Carolina goes up to Detroit, I'm like, I'll make some money off that. I'm gonna fucking throw some money.
Are you upset that he's not double vaxxed?
Dude, that's their decision. Do you think he's stupid?
Tyler Bertuzzi?
No, let me ask you something.
Hold on.
Let me ask you something.
What's that?
Do you think Aaron Rodgers is stupid? Do you think he's stupid? Do you think he's a stupid man? Do you think Joe Rogan's a stupid man?
No, I don't think they're Why are you asking? I feel like that's like a trick question.
Well, it's just like everybody's just...
What does it matter if he's stupid or not?
Do you don't think he just does his research on what the fuck is good for him?
Well, it's all about him. That's the point.
But do you think he's stupid?
But that's it. It's
all
all
about... But do you think he's looking at
these guys? It's all about them.
Some weirdo guy? He says he has the best of the best fucking knowledge coming, doctor-wise. You don't think Joe Rogan has the best...
Why? So What's Rogan? Why are you bringing him up?
Because he did his own thing. He had this different kind of...
He didn't get vaxxed?
No, he did something
I told
different.
you if I was a DJ, which I was back in the day at the Cheetah Club.
You're not making me make my point.
My DJ name is DJ Double Vax. You know that.
Yeah, it's cool.
So
you don't even know what's going on with it.
Well,
but my point is, everybody just bashes these guys, and I'm like, do you think they're fucking stupid? Do you think he's like, I'm a sucker kid? He has
no, but he lied about following protocols and stuff like that.
That's a different.
So
story.
that's
a different story.
That's the only opinion I have on it.
Oh, well, I'm okay.
You know,
okay. Well, then
he
you
lied.
Don't have an opinion on that.
He lied about that.
You only have opinions on people that talk about hockey. Well, when it comes to that kind of stuff, I'm just thinking they bash him so bad. I'm like, he knows his body, man. I can't bash people that are like, I don't want that fucking thing. I know my body. Everything is about my body. I'm a pro athlete. I'm not talking about myself by any means.
Well,
my whole family has that.
Some people, it's a choice. It is what it is. Make your choice. And that's what he's trying to say. Everybody do what is best for you, but that's all he needs to do.
He's not hurting anybody.
Just say you didn't get vaccinated because you don't want to.
I agree with that.
And there's a lot of athletes out there that didn't get vaccinated. They don't want to get vaccinated. So
don't be
what it is.
Evander Kane.
Stop trying to lie about it and stuff like that, and trying to use different words and whatever to try to trick people. I mean,
that's a different story.
Come on,
I thought you were talking about just not getting one to get it.
If you don't want to get vaccinated, don't get vaccinated.
That's what I'm saying. That's on you.
Yeah.
I can't look at somebody like, what do you
do?
Do what the government tells you to do.
But don't say you've been following all the protocols, dude. You're never wearing a mask and all that, though. Those are the protocols. When you go to the podium and all that.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Well, there's different rules and stuff like that, Cam.
I know.
Yeah, you got to follow.
If you're concerned, why don't you wear a mask right now? You're right
you got to follow. Well, when I'm talking and I'm sitting down, I don't have to wear one.
I should be wearing a mask by you because you got fucking kids. Mm-hmm. I go home to nothing.
And I'm
my lovely wife.
Well,
I'm not germ infested.
You should be, because you live in an elderly community. You live in an elderly community.
I have
just to save those people. I'm thinking about the elderly out there.
You're the one guy.
Well, you didn't get any Halloween trick or treaters because everybody's old, dude.
Well, and
oh my!
You do trunk or treats. That's not even fun.
Trunk
anyway.
or treats. I might be coming over this weekend, actually.
No, I'll tell you when the fuck you're coming over, and I'll tell you if you're bringing your...
No, I'm thinking about coming this weekend.
We had a funny thing the other day.
What's that?
On the radio about people with no kids that own a lake house with a boat that only has a certain amount of people getting there.
Yeah.
And then that you invite a couple, and they bring
their kids.
3 kids
Nothing
and a
wrong
dog.
with that.
You're an idiot.
Well, if you invite your friends with kids...
You're a fucking...
you have to specify no kids. Or you have to think they're bringing the kids with them.
Why would you... You're out of your... If you don't have kids, you don't invite people to come to your lake house with a boat that only has a certain amount of seats. You don't do that. You don't do that. You don't do that.
Here's what I say. So if I were to invite... Because I will have a lake house one day.
If I bring you to my house, I don't want you to bring your kids.
Well, you got to say don't bring kids or the dog.
I don't have kids at my house. I'm not inviting people with kids. If I have you over for dinner...
The kids can come.
No, they can't.
Why?
Because I got shit laying around.
Like what?
Like shit.
What are they going to do? Like just
they might touch something and get fucked up.
Well, put it away.
They might open a drawer.
I don't want to be there if you have stuff like that around
come.
there. Okay?
That's why I don't want you.
We'll hang out outside.
Bring your fucking kids. I love your kids. I go to your house and hang with your kids. You don't bring your kids to my house.
Okay. Well, we'll hang out outside in those custom-made sports chairs, baby.
That's true. I could do that.
How sick are those? Are people telling you like how nice they are or what?
My neighbors love them.
Mm-hmm.
They want
their own.
Yeah, but
they got to order one, dude. They got to do it soon.
They want a 55
one. Everybody out there, you got to do it before the end of the month. Otherwise, you're not going to get that promo code, Cam and Strick 20. Use that promo code, My Custom Sports Chair, the perfect Christmas holiday gift. You can find any team, any name on the back of it. You customize the name and the number on the back.
Yeah, it's so awesome.
And what they put on yours?
Jansen. What they put on yours?
Well,
what do they put on yours?
I want to get a Parkway North one.
That'd be cool.
Number 9.
They'll sell like hotcakes.
Number 9. Or a Northern Arizona University one. Yeah. I wore number 7 at NAU.
I know. I heard about it.
Yeah, number 7.
Those hot girls the other day told me about it.
Yeah.
They used to love watching you play.
Hey.
No, I'm just joking. They didn't. No, they look fucking sick the other day. I took a little video. Kate loved it. Cute chairs, man.
Who put the skeleton on the back of it?
I did. I know how to get...
Okay, so what do you do when it's not Halloween? You got put all your Halloween stuff away,
Wait do you see what my Christmas... Wait do you see my house right now? I did a lot of work to it.
What have you done to it?
A lot of work.
Because you need a lot of work. You had a lot of need for that.
So beautiful house.
I'm glad you're finally getting around to it.
Made of stone. Andy's house is made of fucking plastic. Mine's made of fucking stone. I live in a castle. I get the fuck out of here.
I'm glad you're finally...
It was a little outdated, but it's a castle.
It's immaculately outdated.
It's 1999. The best of the best.
Maybe 89 or 91.
That subdivision didn't exist in 89, donkey dick.
It didn't?
No, it was built in 96,
It's an elderly community.
Well, wealthy people are usually elderly, homie.
Well, you're not getting any trick-or-treaters there.
How old are your neighbors?
My neighbor across the street, 100% on the ACT. Let's see, he's a sophomore at Harvard, so he's probably 19.
Yeah, I'm sure they're fun to hang out with.
The neighbor next door to them, he goes to USC. He's also extremely smart.
You got neighbors all over the place. I'm spread out like a motherfucker, dude. I live in a...
Your neighbors are right next to... They live right next door to you, like right next to you.
Are you out of your fuck mind? I can see
on your driveway their house.
3 fairways that congregate behind my house with a graveyard, and you're talking about neighbors with me? You could point out of your house and touch your neighbor. I got to throw a rock and barely hit mine. Get the fuck out of here. And my house is made of snow.
My neighbors...
Don't chirp me.
There was a very famous Hindu holiday that just took place.
It must be fun.
And
it must have been fun.
They were lighting off fireworks, and they had it's like their Christmas, I think. Look at oh my God! They had the fireworks going on and everything.
That'd be cool, neighbors.
Very festive,
dude. If my neighbors were Hindu,
it was like the biggest Hindu bash you've ever seen,
I'd be like,
dude.
Fuck, let me party.
Like every Hindu in town was next door at my house, dude, and they were partying. We were partying next door to them.
I like how Andy has to justify.
Yeah, we're like waving to each other.
Party.
Well, the Hindu party was off the chain.
Another good story about you.
Okay, so these Cam and Strick, mycustomsportschairs.com. So it's mycustomsportschairs.com, and you can get the Cam and Strick one. Or you can, get whatever one you want, whatever team, Red Wings, Maple Leafs, Vancouver, Kings, Devils, Blues, whatever it is that you want. And then pick out the name and number. Or if you have your company, your business, and you want to get a specialized, customized one for your company or your business, you can do that too. And use that promo code CAMandStrick20, and it's going to save you a boatload of money.
The chairs are fucking badass.
Yes, they are.
I'm not going to lie to you. They look great, and they're easy to put together.
Yes. Be a legend. At bealegend.com, www.bealocallegend.com, at bealocallegend. Bealocallegend.com.
I am one.
Use the promo code Strick, and you're going to save a ton of money. I think they just increased it to like 20% or something like that. They just increased it, right? I think they increased the discount to 20% because they love everybody so much. So, again, check that out. Everyone knows a local legend. And celebrate the local legend in all of us by checking out their incredible website. Again, bealocallegend.com.
Wearing the hat right now, homie.
I'm wearing the hat right now.
I wore one golfing.
It's pretty
yesterday.
sick, too. It's like a golf. Good. It's kind of like cool. It's really cool. Yeah. How would you describe it? Because it looks...
That was a little flamboyant.
It's not.
It's a little loud. It's a good golf hat.
Yeah.
That's what you want. You want flamboyant.
It's a loud hat.
Yeah,
what does flamboyant mean? Like loud?
Look at yourself in the mirror.
No, I mean, like, well, I don't know where you're going.
No, well, I'm saying with golf, it's good for golf. Mm-hmm. I wore one yesterday. Looked good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So my golf, Carlo has that thing going on. It's
he
loud,
does. Yeah.
Flamboyant.
People are wearing that on the golf courses and stuff like that. You know, like very loud.
You need to wear manly stuff though. So you bring him. He's got some badass hats.
Oh, he's got some
amazing
manly stuff.
Wear a manly one next time.
They also have barware, like pint glasses and wine glasses.
Thick, actually, real thick.
Dude,
And
I was drinking out of those this past weekend.
And you could hold it because the engraving on it is
I know.
thick.
Oh, my God, the laser sketching.
I put my fucking wine in that mug, dude.
Yeah, it's great.
I got some badass wine. Kate,
do you? What kind of wine are you drinking right now?
Kate orders it online.
Does she?
It's like Christmas
time.
Can you
order me like some wine?
Andy.
Like, where are you ordering the wine from? Hey, we could use a wine sponsor, actually.
Thank you, Lord.
Is wine bad for you?
No.
There's a lot of sugar in wine. Like,
can you have a headache?
Can you gain a lot of weight by drinking wine?
Everything's bad. And
can you gain a lot of weight by drinking?
Yes, you can. But you can gain a lot of weight by eating fast food. You can gain a lot of weight by. But if you have wine,
I don't eat fast food.
If your girl
ever,
if you have one glass of wine a night, it's actually good for you.
Well, that's what they say, like the medical people say about your heart and stuff
like that. Fucking bottle.
Correct.
So I look at it like I drink one bottle of wine a night, and it's good for you.
So so we're changing it. So it's like drink one bottle per night, and then so much. Yeah.
My parents
one glass, one bottle.
They're hillbillies. Mm-hmm. They never drink wine. But once I started making money,
now they drink wine.
No. Well, no, they drink beer. But when I started making money with
did your mom drink beer?
Oh, God, yes.
Really?
Oh, fuck.
I bet you most people's moms do not drink beer.
They're fucking shit kickers, dude. They're shit kickers.
What does that mean?
It means they're fucking House Spring, Missouri motherfuckers. They drink fucking Busch Light and Miller Light.
Your mom will just pop open a beer.
Yes.
I don't see that a lot, you know? Like, and where I live,
do it early
it's not happening. They may drink like a hard seltzer or something like that, or like a...
Dude, come out to the real world.
Hey,
all you Canadian folk know what the fuck I'm talking about. All y'all in the middle of Missouri, all you guys in the middle, your mom and dad fucking drink beer.
I don't know many that are doing that.
They're old school, fucking good old beer drinking motherfucker.
Not that I've
You're
met.
A fancy lad motherfucker, dude. And the only reason why my parents are any fancy is because I played in the NHL and I live next to them, and say I got them in the
Some of them may drink like a Truly or something like that. I don't see many drinking.
My parents are shit kickers, dude. Is what it is.
Busch Light, but
they'll drink fucking straight Busch beer, baby. Oh yeah,
that's
and
pretty
my North
impressive.
County folk drink fucking Budweiser.
Wow.
Put Budweiser with your Malls fucking barbecue sauce when you're cooking park steaks.
I don't see that in my neighborhood. That does not
happen
happen in my neighborhood.
You don't fucking barbecue. You don't drink beer.
Dude,
you don't do anything that's fucking Midwest.
True story.
Shit kicker.
I'm putting a fresh turkey.
You don't do shit
on the Traeger for like 24 hours.
Oh, do that, dude.
Oh yeah.
Stuff that motherfucker. Just take the skin, take butter,
I'm gonna
garlic, rosemary
for 12 hours.
I do that too, and put under the skin butter. Lay it all out
under the skin.
Under the fucking skin.
And then you put the skin back on?
No, that you take the
you put your hand through the skin.
Through the skin. You take butter and you stuff that and you put all kinds of cool rosemary, all that shit, and let that soak, and then base that mug with. Dude, are you eating meat?
You don't have to tell me. I'm cooking it.
You're not eating it though?
Well, I don't know. I might.
You're a fucking baby.
What are you talking about? I might. I didn't say I would or wouldn't, but I'm cooking the hell out of that.
Are you a hippie?
I'm a gangster.
What the?
On the Traeger.
Yeah, you and your little fucking nerd white boys back in the day in your all boys school.
I am.
In your BMW.
That is not true.
No. You're listening to gangster music.
No.
You don't.
Well, back in the day,
you're not going to eat a turkey, though?
I didn't say I wouldn't. Of course I'm going to eat a turkey. I make the best.
Of course I'm going to eat turkey.
I may eat a tofurkey, too.
All right, that's cool.
You can eat a lot of different things on Thanksgiving. Some people eat turducken. You ever had a turducken?
Yeah.
No, you haven't. You act so confidently.
I've lived over the world.
You've never had it.
I played hockey for a living, homie.
Oh, and they just have like turduckens all over the world?
Yeah, they do.
I think actually they
kind of do.
A lot of people
Kate
I know.
And I had one in Europe.
A lot of people I know will have duck.
You're not going to.
Dude, I'm making a turkey. I'm actually going to make you one.
Ever fucking invite me.
I'm bringing you
ever to your house for holidays.
Why?
Because I'm going to starve to death,
dude.
I just know that it's everything.
But I'm making it. What are you talking about? You'll have lots of options to have.
You're going to put like no butter on it.
No, of course I will.
No, you're not.
Cam, it'll be. I can't wait to bring you.
I don't want to be healthy.
I can't wait.
Look, when I eat, I don't want to be healthy. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm done with it.
Okay, I can't wait.
I
can't wait to bring you some turkey.
You're not bringing me anything.
No,
I'm not going to eat it.
Yeah, you will.
I'll give it to the dogs.
Why wouldn't you eat it?
The dogs probably won't eat it because they're going to shit all over the place.
You ever take out the wishbone and all that stuff? You know?
Oh yeah. I don't want to eat the wishbone.
Buy mashed potatoes. Honestly, like
I'll eat those.
Yeah, they're really good. I put some cream cheese in there. Yeah.
You like double scallop potatoes where you just cut it, boy?
Oh yeah.
I put it in.
Yeah, I don't do all that. I take Yukon Golds. And you cook them. You boil them for X number of minutes, and then you get after it with a hand mixer, electric mixer,
whatever.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get some pizza tonight.
Okay,
Kate's off work.
Oh, that
we got
sounds
a long
like
day.
fun. Don't eat it all at once. Have some fun tonight.
Oh well, we're gonna eat meat.
Yeah, okay. Well, you have a hamburger pizza.
Fucking right, hamburger, bacon, mushrooms. Fucking.
All right, so be a local legend. My boy Ryan Weber, man,
great guy,
getting it done.
I'm wearing the hat. I wore the hat yesterday. If I can beat my buddy, what's up?
Use that promo code Strick. It saves you how much?
You love that it's Strick because it's local legend. You're like, maybe I could be a local legend if my promo code
20%. 20%.
That's cool though.
Yeah, no, it's very cool.
He's like, oh, okay.
Really cool. You know what else is cool? Car Shield, 800-857-2481. Again, 800-857-2481. Use that promo code CAM. You're going to save 10%. You never know when something's going to go down, man. It can go down at any point in time. No warning. Engine, radiator, starter, computer. I mean, anything can go down.
There's a million fucking things.
So many different things. Thank you. And you never know how much it's going to cost, man. You're talking money out of your pocket. I've had more people say to me, I would have never been able to afford the repairs in my car if I didn't have Car Shield. Therefore, it's taken care of. You pick the mechanic. They hook you up with the rental car. It sounds too good to be true. Well, it pretty much is.
Well, it's not because you could just call them.
It's true. 800-857-2481. Use that promo code CAM, which I know is embarrassing, but you just have to do it. But if you feel embarrassed and that makes you feel, then turn around and go to local legend and use that promo code Strick, and then you feel like you just feel vindicated. But again, Car Shield, promo code CAM, save 10%. They are the best. And you talk about stocking stuffers. I would start thinking ahead right now. Get them a little membership there to Car Shield.
Yeah, and you know what? You could just give them a Car Shield jersey.
Yeah, you can do that too.
And shove it in Andy's fucking face.
It's great.
Give it to the kids, and then they could play
great
hockey.
Color concept. It's like the old school San Jose Sharks.
They got badass jerseys.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
They do.
I love AAA. Yeah. I play AAA. Yeah. But Car Shield.
Well, they're AAA too.
No. But AAA amateur blues. I'm talking. Sorry. Yeah. But they got some badass jerseys. Yeah. Okay, I got to fucking pump that back in.
Everybody.
Now, the AAA blues jerseys are dope as fuck because it's fucking blues. But Car Shield did a good job on that. Love you guys.
I think I tore my ACL.
I don't give a fuck.
But I'm having extreme pain on the outside of my knee. It's a very athletic injury, dude.
He's got fucking sandals on.
Very athletic
November,
injury.
he's got sandals on.
So
that's such a nerdy
The fact that I'm able to even be here right now.
Both of my fucking.
It's just amazing.
Both of my co-workers have sandals on. They're beaking me about shit.
Well, okay.
I'll push you both over.
Bellman.com.
He don't wear sandals.
Dude, this guy is unbelievable.
Only on the beach.
We're getting together with him very, very soon.
Yeah, can we do something with him?
Yes.
I need to look at some shit.
Bellman.com. Get out there to Troy, Missouri. Buick GMC on one side of the street. I'm looking at these GMCs, man.
They're fucking
I'm looking
badass.
at a GMC. And on the other side, you got the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. So you have something for everybody, including these Jeeps. They've got a ton of different selection over there with the Jeeps, man.
They got some fucking badass Jeeps with
Yes.
some fat ass fucking not Wrangler. You want Wrangler? Fine. I'm talking Jeep Grand Cherokees with twin turbo shit kicker, go 140 miles.
You
an
like
hour.
that Gladiator?
I
It's
don't
kind
know.
of a Jeep like
Excuse me?
pickup truck. It's like a Jeep pickup truck.
Yeah,
looking thing.
I don't
No,
know.
they're pretty
Andy,
cool.
you
They
like
drive
to get-
really nice.
They're probably nice. That's fine.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna get a pickup truck, it's gonna be a fucking. It's gonna be a 3/4.
Well, get out there to Troy. Best customer service you'll find
need to talk to him.
anywhere.
I'm sick of my truck. I need some
Yeah,
shit.
you need
It's gonna be a fucking.
You want
no. It's gonna be
half
It's gonna be
ton?
a 3/4 ton.
What are you gonna do with it?
Listen to what I say.
What are you gonna do with it?
I'm gonna
You
drive
gonna-
safely.
You gonna drink
places.
wine in the back of it? Like,
No.
what are you gonna do?
No, you don't do that.
Are you gonna build something?
No, you could. I could live in the back of. No. You could put I told you this.
A camper on top.
You put a camper.
I know,
It's just
I know.
no. It's not a camper.
No,
it's
a
tent.
shell.
No, you put a shell, but then you take a tent that hooks up to the back of your truck.
Tent?
A tent that hooks up. So, dude,
A tent. I know exactly.
listen,
dude.
all you
It's a
guys,
pop-up.
all you outdoorsy folk, I love
It's
all
a
y'all.
pop-up.
Listen, you guys know what I'm talking about. Look, you guys know. I look on YouTube and I watch these guys do all that stuff. It's such a cool thing.
It's a pop-up.
You're out of touch.
No, it's a
no,
pop-up.
it's not. Although I will take one of those from Byerly here and go up there Grand Tetons.
Yeah, okay.
baby.
Well, we're talking about Bellman here. Kenny
I'll
Bellman.
take it up
Dan
there with the
Bellman,
3/4 ton
Dale,
truck.
everybody.
Grand Tetons.
I am looking
Andy.
at a couple of different things.
What are you
over
looking
there.
at? A Volvo?
The Yukon. The GMC Yukon.
Those are badass. You need a big. You got 3
Extended.
kids.
Extended.
You need to take kids places. Take
I
that
know.
extended one.
I know.
Let them fucking do their thing.
Yes.
Put the fucking seat down. Put the dog back there.
Probably.
Yeah, baby.
Okay. So, again, Bellman.
It's just like all the women do.
Hey, support all our sponsors, too.
Yes. You want to keep this thing going, man? You got to support the sponsors.
Yeah.
We love all these guys. We know them close. They're all great. So just, you want to keep this damn thing going. This is the way it goes.
All right. Very important, very serious conversation
But,
coming
Oh,
up
yeah.
right now
well, me and you.
with Sheldon Kennedy.
Yeah, it was.
On this edition of the Cam and Strick podcast presented by Hair Club, here's
for men
Sheldon Kennedy. The Cam and Strick podcast is brought to you by Car Shield. Nothing more frustrating, Cam, than when that engine light comes on and right off the bat, you're going to have to spend thousands of dollars to repair your vehicle. Call 800-857-2481. Mention the promo code CAM or visit carshield.com and use the code CAM to save 10%. That's carshield.com. A deductible may apply. Save yourself money. Sign up and get your coverage now with carshield.com. Now to the interview.
Hello.
Sheldon.
Sheldon, what's up, man?
How's it going?
Good.
What up?
So since you're from Saskatchewan,
Perfect.
are you? What does that mean? Like you're related to like Chaser, Joey Koser, Barry Melrose? Like, let's see, Wendell Clark. Is that your family or what?
No, I'm actually from Manitoba. So, we farm out in Saskatchewan. So I go back and forth. I know Melrose and Chaser and that whole crew for sure. I'm not related.
What does that mean?
I don't
Yeah, I
think.
know.
What do you mean? Wait, let me ask you this.
What does that mean?
Wait, farmer. Like Andy's we're not farmers out here. Like we're just not. Like, just define that. Like what does that mean?
Are you wearing
farmer?
overalls? Like what are you doing?
I'm a cowboy.
Yeah. I've got overalls on and a piece of grass hanging out of my side of my lip. But no, we grain farm. So we grow lentils and edible beans and canola and wheat and durum wheat and potatoes and we grow all kinds of that stuff. So
listen,
and
I've talked to a lot of farmers over the years, Sheldon. I've never met a lentil farmer, and I love lentils. So, let's talk a little lentils here for a second. Now,
don't bore the audience.
How are you growing lentils? Explain the whole process with lentil farming.
Well, lentils are, they grow in they like more of a drier climate. So we're in the west central area of Saskatchewan. I think we're the number one producer of lentils in the world. So
wow.
we grow a lot of lentils in Saskatchewan and southern Alberta, and most of them get shipped to Turkey, and they get processed and shipped back. But one of the biggest and the highest growth area in the food industry right now is flour made out of pulse crops or lentils, and so we're trying to. I think one of the challenges in North America is people understanding how to cook and what they can cook with lentils. So I think there's a big effort going into that. But it's a high protein and it's a good, healthy alternative to protein.
Let me ask you something. As a farmer, I mean, like, explain to people how stressful it is. Like, hockey's stressful. Other people have stressful lives. You're on the top of a skyscraper trying to bolt in different beams, like that kind of stuff. But as a farmer, you have one bad year when the rain's too much or not enough or the dust bowl hits or something. Like, explain that to people, how stressful it is every year counting on these crops to grow.
Well, it is a big concern, but our mindset when we went out to purchase farmland is all of our land is irrigated, so we can push a button and make it rain, which you take out the biggest risk in farming. So we're quite fortunate on that front. But yes, we've been in a drought for the last 3 years in Canada and Western Canada for the most part, and it's been tough. It's been difficult, especially as we're rebounding back from the pandemic, and we see a lot of inflation and products are tough to get. It's you see your input costs keep going up and up and up. So it's a stressful job, but I think on my part I look at it to get away and get out, and it's more lifestyle than anything, and it's a good place to raise. We have a little guy. We got a little 3-year-old, and so he loves being out there. And the farm's on a lake, so we can kind of kill two birds with one stone. We can do a little bit of work in the morning and head out fishing in the afternoon.
He's right. He's got a lake.
I know. Hey, listen, I do a farming podcast too. We'll have you back on. We'll talk some farming. We'll talk some farming on that one. Hey, listen though, Sheldon. We got a wide-ranging audience, and through Canada, U.S., whatever. Some people probably know your story. A lot of people don't know your story at the same time. I mean, I'm curious, like, when you come on, you do these type of interviews, like, are you comfortable? Like, do you like telling your story? Do you feel like it's still good therapy for you? Like, how do you approach kind of talking about everything you've been through? Well, I mean,
it's been 24 years since, my story broke, and so I've spent a lot of years, trying to get to a place of good recovery, and I feel I've been there for a number of years now, and I think that being in this space and doing this work, I've really had to learn how to really learn how to listen and not take on other people's pain as we listen. And it's really not so much about my story anymore. It's not so much about telling my story as it is about, talking about solution and, talking about how we can be better. What can we learn from situations like this? And what have we learned in the process of 24 years of being involved in this work? What have we learned that can help and turn a negative situation into a positive situation that's, going to benefit everyone? And I think, at the end of the day, it takes a while to get there, and when I first started doing this work, I rollerbladed across the country in Canada, and we were getting over 25 disclosures a day from people, every day across, in the middle of the prairies, downtowns. It didn't matter where you were. This is a huge problem. It's not just a hockey problem, but at that time I felt I had to take on and listen to everybody, and I felt that weight of trying to help everyone. And I think I really had to practice and learn how to listen and understand what my role in all of this is, and that is to be able to guide people to the places where they can get help from the professionals in this area.
Hey, did you know you were always going to come out and come forward with it, and in terms of, like, going to the police to call out Graham James, who did what he did to you over the years when you were playing junior hockey and all that? Did you always know there would come a day when you would make that public?
Frick, no, I never did. And how it kind of hit me just kind of slapped me upside the head, and my life was falling apart. I was in and out of treatment centers and psych wards and mental health hospitals, and it just was, wasn't good. And my wife was pregnant at the time, and I got traded from Detroit to Winnipeg and then claimed on waivers by the Calgary Flames. And so I came back to Calgary here, and Graham James, who was the former coach of the Swift Current Broncos, where my abuse happened from him, was given the franchise to start a new franchise in Calgary, Western Hockey League franchise, Canadian Junior franchise, the Calgary Hitmen. And so when I came to the Flames organization, I'd come out of the locker room after the game, and Graham was trying to insert himself back in my life as soon as I got back in here as a friend and whatever. And, I wanted nothing to do with that. But I would come out of the locker room, and on my left, I'd see Graham standing there with all these young junior hockey players, and I knew what was going on. And then I looked to my right, and there was my wife at the time, Jana, and she was pregnant with our daughter Ryan. And there was, it was just, it hit me. It's like, I will never be the dad and the person I want to be unless I deal with this. And it never really kind of hit me as far as, the whole, I just knew my life was, really out of control, and I was on a downward spiral, and I lived my life basically from the time I met Graham on wanting to die. So I looked to my other side, and there's Graham with these young kids. And I'm like, you know what, if I don't do something about this, I have to do something about it. So my biggest fear was, being believed. And you got to remember, this is back in 1996. And, we knew nothing about this stuff. I knew nothing. And I think one of my biggest fears was, how do I explain what's going on here? How do I explain what's happened when I can barely process it in my own head? And I remember my wife, I told her when we got back that night, and all she said is, I believe you. And that was the process. And, Andy and Cam, I don't think I've ever made a decision to say, this is what I'm going to do in my life. It's just happened. People have kept me involved because there's just so much need for help and guidance. And I guess I've been a voice for it. And I felt that my role in this space can be to keep these issues in the forefront and center for long enough for change to happen. And, here we are going on 24 years. So it's, that's kind of how it happened for me. I had never really ever thought about it before that time.
So explain to people, and you know what? Why wouldn't you think that people wouldn't believe you? Like, you know what I mean? Why do, and it happened to you and tons of people, but why do you think that is? And I know it's 96, but still, if you came out and you're like, why do you think you thought that people wouldn't believe you? And what would happen because of that?
Well, if you go back and look at the early newspaper articles before Graham James pled guilty, I was right. People didn't believe me, and I think that the reality is you got to remember, Graham James was Hockey Man of the Year in all of hockey around the world, right? So he was Hockey Man of the Year, and here's this troubled, which I had been in trouble. I'd been arrested. I'd been at treatment centers. My NHL career was embarrassing, as I would learn now. It's because of what had happened to me, but, I carry a lot of shame and guilt, and, and I was this troubled kid, and who's going to believe me over Hockey Man of the Year and this big successful person? And the reality is with these issues in particular, we've done over 20,000 child abuse investigations, and 98% of those cases, the child knows their abuser, and over 50% of those cases, the kids are abused in their own home. So the reality is that stranger danger, yes, it happens from strangers, but these things are happening by trusted people in that person's life or in your community. And that's the way they want to position themselves, because when you look at abuse and how abuse happens, it happens because of an imbalance of power. And so they want to make sure that they are the volunteer of the year, or the person of the year in that community, because nobody will ever challenge them. And when that happens, it brings a lot of shame and guilt into the community, into the organization. So nobody wants to admit that this potentially could be happening under their watch in their organization.
Yeah, and listen, and I watched the Swift Current movie.
Yeah. Yep.
You guys did a great job with that. Listen, I commend you big time, Sheldon, like for coming out and telling your story, helping the number of people that you've been helping along the way all these years too. But there was something that stood out in the documentary about him abusing you in your parents' home, then going upstairs and having breakfast with your parents just really hours later or moments later. Like, was there ever a moment where you almost came clean to your parents? You almost told your parents, like, was that ever on your mind to tell them? And why couldn't you? And why do so many abusers do? Well, how come so many do keep it in for so long?
Well, I mean, when you look at child abuse, for the most part, they know how to pick them, and they pick the most vulnerable. And if I look at my situation, my father was we didn't come out of a great home, and there was a lot of fear in our home. Nobody said a word in our house, and let alone would we ever talk about any of this. And I think that just as a young kid, here's a person that, if you think of it, here's a kid that's 13 years old. The dream is to play in the Western Hockey League. And all of a sudden you've got this scout coach person that's come into your life. That's this trusted adult that comes in, and it didn't just walk into my parents' home and start doing this. He gained the trust of my parent. And it's all about the grooming process. My whole family, he gained the trust, and then he started doing it. So, everybody's praising Graham as this great guy. And that's the way he came across, as this great person. Right. So, he came in and he swooped in and told my mom that he was going to take care of the boys, because he took my brother as well. But, nothing ever happened to him. And that's what happens. I mean, the grooming process is a very important part of this to really understand as a parent, or as somebody, whether it be a coach or whoever, that has kids in their care, because it's, and I think it's the shame and the guilt and the situation that doesn't allow people to really address these issues till later on in life.
So when he became the head coach of Swift Current, and he either drafted you or traded for you, I forgot which one it was, but you ended up going to Swift Current. What was going through your mind then, knowing you were going to go play for this monster who had already abused you prior to that, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's as a kid, you're lost. And as a kid, I hated hockey from the time I met Graham James. I never knew how to tell people I wanted to quit, because I didn't know how to answer the questions that would have been coming. Well, why do you want to quit? Like, you've got all this talent. Why would you want to quit? Well, I couldn't even process what was happening in my head. I didn't even know. All I knew is that I wanted to die. And I didn't know how to explain any of this, let alone the shame and the guilt that came with it, and the self-hate. And, and if I look at my life from that point moving forward, I mean, I started failing out of school. We learn, and that's where a lot of people, they get caught up in the incident and the details of the incident. And I think, that's an important piece for the court process. But one thing that we know, and we know clearly now, is the impact is huge. We know that over 80% of kids that have been abused end up in treatment centers and detox centers. Kids that have been abused are 26 times more likely to experience youth homelessness, 30% higher dropout rates in high school, 15 times more likely to be arrested as juveniles. I mean, the list goes on, and I basically, almost frickin' chalked all of those boxes up. I was no different. And, and that is the impact of trauma. We know that, as kids that are living in very traumatic situations, it changes the way their brains are developed, and it changes their path and their life path forever. And, it doesn't mean that you can't find a way to live in good recovery, but it does change. And to me, I had to understand that, because I just didn't know why I felt the way I felt. I didn't know why. I went from a young kid that just, we grew up on a dairy farm. We milked the cows, we played hockey till the lights came on, and then some more, and loved the game. And all of a sudden I hated it. And probably one of the biggest losses that I've had is the love of the game. And that's what happens to kids when they're abused, is they lose the ability to be a kid. They lose the ability to enjoy and to love the things that were important to them. And you spend your whole time wondering, how do you manage this ugly situation that you're stuck in? And, how do you try to manage this secret that you have to keep, because you're so paranoid about people to find out? And how do you manage the feelings and the emotions that are going on inside you that, and usually drugs and alcohol, in my case, worked to kind of get me out of that. And it almost killed me. So, I was in a bad spot for quite a while, and, thank goodness I'm not there today, and I can, carry a message of hope, because I think that's what these issues need. Is when people are stuck in these issues, they need a little bit of hope. They need to see that some people live in good recovery, and people do live in good recovery. We just need to hear more of it.
Mm. And while this is going on, are you aware of other teammates this is happening to as well? And I guess the other, most well-known player that has come out and thrown out the abuse situation that they went through with Graham James was Theo Fleury, who we've had on with us. Yeah. And he was certainly great with us when he came on. And you played with Theo for a little bit in the NHL in Calgary. Did you two ever talk about this or about Graham James? And if you didn't back when you were playing, did you after he came out with his allegations?
Well, we did after, but, I didn't know exactly what was going on with Theo as far as the details of what happened, but I knew that he was going over to Graham's place, no different than I was, but I didn't know if anything had happened or not happened. And when I disclosed, Theo chose not to disclose, and he chose not to say anything happened to him for another 14 years after I disclosed, which is fine, but it goes to show that a disclosure is not easy. And so after Theo disclosed, we did have a conversation about it, and we chat today, but you think of it. I mean, it took Theo another 14 years to come out with his story since I told mine, and some people never get to the point of telling their story. Also, because it's just they can't get there, and they live with it, and somehow they've been able to live and compartmentalize it, and I just couldn't do it, and I had to deal with it because it was killing me.
So what'd you get into? So, I mean, you're depressed. I can just imagine, man. I can't imagine, but you're sitting there. You're trying to get away from your own mind. So you're dipping into things. You're boozing. Would you get into coke too? What was what kind of extreme did you get into when it comes to just trying to flood out everything on your mind?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just you're just trying to escape, right? So, whatever was around. Usually, for me, it was just trying to escape, and whatever that was. I mean, I don't think it really matters of how much it was of this or how much it was of that or what it was. I think at the end of the day, I numb myself out from alcohol and drugs, and been living in recovery now for 17 years. So, but all I knew at that time was that's what worked at the time, and it became to a point where it stopped working, and it started having a reverse effect. In other words, started really becoming I started, my life was unmanageable, and end of story. I needed to deal with it.
Yeah, you were such a great hockey player too, though. I mean, people need to realize that, like, how good you were. I mean, going back to your junior days, obviously Memorial Cup and then the World Juniors and all that, and then getting to the National Hockey League. But when you think about hockey and your career specifically and just the game, does that bring back good memories or bad memories?
Well, it brings back very shameful memories. I never lifted a weight or rode a bike in my life, did everything I could not to be in the NHL and still somehow managed to be there. And I think, being a kid from small town out in the prairies, that was a big deal to that area. And literally the headlines I made was, Kennedy going to treatment, and you go to treatment, and then you stay sober for 20 days after treatment. And then you're, this is great. And, meanwhile, you're a 20-year-old kid struggling to frickin', stay alive, and you're trying to answer the media's questions about sobriety and this, and I knew nothing about it. And, back then, I mean, nobody even talked about mental health. Nobody talked about abuse. Nobody talked about addiction. It was go get dry out. Right. So it's, I've really had to deal with that as a loss in my life. And, I guess one of the, hockey should have been fun and should have been enjoyable for me. And it wasn't. And that's a loss, a huge loss. That's something I never got to really enjoy, like I'm sure most of the other players. And, so to be able to talk about the game like others is very different for me than it would be for somebody that hasn't gone through what I went through.
What do you think the NHL, like, how do you look at the NHL right now anyway? You have such a hardcore story. And, how do you look at, how are they doing? Are they ahead of the curve with shit? Are they just following people? Like, how are they doing on this specific topic and everything else too?
Yeah. Well, I think that, and I've said it, I think it's a systemic response to a human problem. And I think whenever that happens, it never comes across right. And I think that, they deal with drugs and alcohol and the players assistance program and so forth. I mean, and I used that program. So, it helped me, but I know that it's very limited in what it deals with. And I've managed to, talk to a few people. And I think that at the end of the day, this is a workplace, and I think sometimes we forget about that when we talk about the NHL. It's still kind of coaches and players and at the end of the day, this is a workplace, and there's lots of workplace legislation. And I think that, we do a lot of work in this space around training and educating, employees in large corporations, small business, government, universities, you name it. And, there is a movement here. And I think the NHL really misunderstood or misplayed societal shift in this space and society's demands that we have this right. And I don't buy the fact that, this happened 10 years ago and that they didn't know about it and give us a little bit of a break because it happened a long time ago. My story was told 24 years ago, and we'd have educated every coach in this country in the game of hockey and 70 other sports for 10 years before 2010. So, to know better is to do better. And I don't buy the fact that we didn't know better in 2010. And I think that hopefully, they can get it right. But I think it's going to have to come from the individual teams. It's going to have to come from the sponsors to put pressure on the league to say that it's not good enough that we have policies that state, that collect dust on our shelf and say that we have to do this. These issues and the change and the culture change and the systemic shift that we need in the game comes under leadership. And that's where change is going to happen. And it has to be the leaders of the league. It has to be the leaders of the team that say, listen, this is a priority in our organization. And you know what? we need to educate players on this stuff, because I think that we need to give them the tools to understand and to be better and hold each other accountable, and, and to be able to, have the knowledge to say, hey, we don't do that here, and you need to go here, or you need to tell that person. And I think, if you look at this case, and you look at, it's not just Kyle Beach is the person that actually said something about it. Everybody else didn't say a word. And that is what we're talking about. I mean, we need people to step up. And I think there's just this code of silence that needs to change a little bit. And especially when it's about people and the individuals and people as human beings, within that locker room and outside that locker room, and people that we interact on a daily basis with.
All right, when you hear the Kyle Beach story and the situation he went through with Chicago, are there similarities? I mean, do you look at this whole situation completely different than what you went through, being a young kid, 14, 15, coach living in your house, staying at your house, taking you under the wing, versus, a 20-year-old kid who's already a first-round pick and, gone through the whole junior hockey process before he even got to Chicago as a Black Ace? Are there any similarities in terms of your situation and his?
Well, I mean, I think that with Kyle, and all the stories that we're not really talking about the sexual assault. I mean, the sexual assault is I think what we're talking about is we're talking about non-action around a disclosure from a person in your organization. Mm-hmm. That's what we're talking about. So yes, it's very similar, and, obviously Kyle's is a sexual assault, adult to adult situation. Mine was not. Mine was a sexual abuse case, adult to minor. But I think if what we're talking about is we're talking about how does Aldrich operate in a hockey world for as long as he did without, and we're also talking about, because of the non-action, the assaults that took place after that. That's what we're talking about, right? And so to me, that's a systemic problem that's gone on. Nobody felt comfortable to put their hand up to say, you know what, maybe we should follow the policy, because the policies do say that we have to act swiftly and promptly in response to any types of these disclosures. But nobody did that. So to me, that's what we're talking about. So not so much the sexual assault.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, listen, their inaction is what led to all of them being fired. Because Kevin Cheveldayoff, I believe you've talked to him, and I think you guys go back to your junior hockey days as well. They said that they didn't know, right, in terms of the actual allegation of abuse, right? So what was brought to their attention, just in terms of your conversations with Kevin Cheveldayoff, like when they had their meetings, like they didn't do anything. Like, what did they know at the time, do you think?
Well, I think with Kevin, from what I understand and reading the report, Kevin was, heard very little, and what he would have claimed that to be would have been a harassment case. Mm-hmm. So what he had heard and what he admitted to hearing was some nude images, inappropriate images sent via online. But Kevin was in the meeting briefly, from what I can understand from the report and what I know about the report. So, but there's no question that Aldrich was situation and Kyle Beach's situation was being discussed in that meeting. So, I guess at the end of the day, people knew.
Yeah, that's what makes it bizarre, is because, we try to dissect everything, and we got to do, we got to look into all this kind of stuff. We do podcasts and radio shows and stuff like that. And we know Coach Quinville as well, too. And it's like your video coach is even hanging out with a 20-year-old. Even if they're hanging out and partying at that point, you get rid of them. Like, you don't hang out with your video coach. But then you add on a little bit more to that. It's like, that would be an easy fire. Just fire a video coach. Yeah. No one even give a shit. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's you've got somebody in there that I'm sure people felt uncomfortable around, just of like what you were just saying, hanging around partying.
Yeah.
Why is this guy hanging around? Without take the Kyle Beach, assault off the equation for a second, but why is the video coach hanging around partying with people, texting guys? Like what's just that itself is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Right. And so to me, it's like we need to be able to create a confidence around all of these issues that create fear. And I mean, whether it be sexual assault, whether it be mental health, whether it be diversity, inclusion, I mean, all that stuff, right? That, we're all expected to do the right thing around. But, walk into a locker room and ask me, say, ask an NHL player or coach or whoever it might be, say, listen, give me the definition of bullying, abuse, harassment, and discrimination. And what are your legal and moral responsibilities around it? And what are we supposed to do if it ever happens in front of us? What do you think the odds are we get the right answer? Not very good. But you know what? When it comes down to it, we're all expected to do the right thing. So in other words, I think that our best defense is give the 99 or, in lots of cases, 100%, give our good people the tools to be better. That's our best defense, right? Create a confidence around issues that carry a lot of fear and a real clarity of where you can take your complaint. Where do you take that? And how is it going to get dealt with? If you look at a whistleblower line, I mean, that brings an accountability to a case management strategy as an independent third-party line. That's, I think there's a confusion here on a helpline. Well, a helpline is to get counseling and so forth, which is important. But there's a whistleblower line where, if that, if say, Kyle's call went to a whistleblower line, that line and the agreement that they have is that they have to follow that case through until it's closed. So it's not going to fall on deaf ears inside the organization. And that case would have had to been followed through. And that line and that third party entity can be a resource. They're going to update Kyle on where this thing's at, but they're also going to be able to work with the organization and follow that case through. So it actually gets closed. And I think that's the problem here. That case, people had a belief and they had a knowledge and they felt that this thing was, the left hand was going to do it. Meanwhile, the right hand, never checked back with the left hand to make sure it was done. And that's, that's a huge problem here. I mean, and that's my perception of it. But, I think that we need guarantee that these cases, when they come forward, are professionally followed and, people receive help, but they go through what they need to get through to get a resolution to that case that was presented in front of us.
Cam and Strick podcast here for our boy Dan Bellman with Bellman.com.
Yeah, baby.
You need some new wheels? Why not get a Cadillac, a Buick, a GMC? Yeah. Head out to Troy today. And again, don't forget about Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram right across the street.
No doubt.
Right there in Troy, Missouri. Visit them online. Check out their new selection, the pre-owned selection, the best service you will find anywhere in the country. Bellman.com. BEHLMANN.com. Get yourself some new wheels in time for the summer.
Yeah.
Now back to the interview. Has the NHL reached out to you? I mean, specifically Gary Bettman. I mean, have they reached out to you and asked you to help them move forward so this doesn't happen again? And in the case that it does, they're better prepared for it?
I haven't spoken to Gary personally, but we do have a meeting this week with a member from the NHL, yes.
And what would be your suggestion to the league in terms of moving forward and just trying to use the situation? We've seen that, have created headlines throughout the world and throughout the hockey world for sure, just to try to prevent this from happening again. Like, what's your suggestion?
Well, my recommendation and what we've seen work really well is the league and the team have to make this a priority within their organization. And every single person in that organization, whether they're front office people, whether they're the entertainment side, but every coach, every player needs to be educated on this in this space. But also, I think that we need to create a collective. I think one of the biggest challenges is actually having people have a conversation around this. And one of the exercises that we know works well for companies that have implemented is, create a team charter around this. Have that hang in the dressing room. No different than winning and losing charter. Who do we want to be as people? How are we going to take care of one another in this locker room in regards to human issues? What does that look like? Right? What does it look like? What are we, bring some accountability. But I think it's tough to do the right thing in this space without the knowledge to understand what the right thing is. So our recommendation is mandatory training for everybody in this space. Be able to keep it alive, whether it's, having different exercises throughout the year, keeping it alive, and not just on the NHL team. We're talking right from your draft pick on up. And having a third-party whistleblower line. They'll keep it simple, but keeping it. And I think, one of the biggest things that we need some actionable items that are doable, understanding the current situation. But I mean, what we know about this stuff is, it has to be everybody. It can't be just a coach's responsibility or just, the general manager's responsibility. It's all of our responsibilities. And when we can empower the bystander, it makes us all better.
Listen, I have kids, and, I'm curious your suggestion, like to parents, like what warning signs should you look for? And when's the right time? And what's the right message to talk to your kids about potential predators that are out there?
Andy.
What do you tell parents about that?
Well, what I know about this, these issues is, sadly, and it's probably one of the toughest things to deal with in this space. But, sadly, we have many, many, many cases and investigations where, kids are under 3 years old. And so, I don't think there's ever, you're too early to talk to kids about it. I think, and there's lots of knowledge out there on how to, Child Help USA, we've done lots of work with them, Prevent Child Abuse America. They got lots of great literature. But, to me, I think that our kids are learning about this stuff in schools. Our kids are learning about, they're probably more educated on these issues than us as parents in a lot of cases. I think we're starting to get to that point where, the younger parents are becoming, they would have got it coming up through the schools. But if it's never a conversation in our house, and it doesn't matter if it's this issue or any other issue, it's a very difficult conversation to have. So I think it's about practice. When I look at these issues and I look at, where the NHL's at, and I look at, the team or a family, the more we practice just trying to talk about these issues, or, I've got a little 3-year-old too. And I know he knows what I'm talking about. It's like, I just tell him, I say, that's yours, Lockie, right? Nobody else's, right? Yep. And just little things like that, like that's it, right? And is it perfect? No. Am I perfect at this stuff? No. Is there a perfect conversation around this stuff? No. Is there a perfect approach? No. But you know what? We don't practice the power play at the start of the season and forget about it for the rest of the season, right?
Yeah.
We all know the power play. We know the game plan, but why do we pay attention to it every day? Because we want to continually get better at it. And these issues, I feel, are no different. It's not a perfect conversation. I think we need to learn right alongside our kids. And there's lots of information out there where you can learn about age-appropriate conversations to have, and just practice having them. And if they know that and you care about it, I mean, they're going to be more likely to bring it forward. And and one of the reasons I think it was so difficult for me to bring it forward, or many others, and why it took so long, is we'd never heard about it before, ever, right? And so that would be my best advice that I can give. And and I think as parents, we wait till kids are teenagers, and I think that's way too long. I think it's not about sex. It's about personal boundaries.
Yep.
It's about
protecting yourself,
personal boundaries, and protecting yourself. And just learn along with them, because we all need to learn in this area.
Let me ask you this though: And by the way, the PowerPoint thing, I wouldn't know anything about that. So just so you, and Andy doesn't either. So he'll brag about himself, but he doesn't know about the PowerPoint. Because you know what? I still think hockey as a whole, and we have our questions for what the NHL needs to do with different situations. But as hockey, we have a ton of moms and dads, hockey parents that listen to this thing. And what would you tell them? Like, playing hockey is still a good thing overall. But can you confirm that? Because, sometimes you hear all these different things and people are bashing the sport, and this comes up and we have to address it. But hockey as a whole is still
like, you think this is a hockey issue or not? Not really a hockey issue.
Because it didn't happen too much in football, I don't feel like. So is this like a hockey issue or what?
Well, it's not just a hockey issue. It's a societal issue, and we know that. I believe that hockey's a great game, and I think, it teaches a lot of good for our kids, and I think, it's a great sport. But I also think that, if we whenever we stop learning and we stop growing and we stop trying to get better and as an overall league, start listening, stop being open-minded around certain things, I think it causes trouble in wherever we are. And I think in this space, it's never really wanted to be acknowledged. And I think now it is. So how do we turn this negative situation into a positive? And I think my message to the NHL and to the teams and to the players, let's be leaders in this space. It's not just, we'd have to be living under a rock to not hear about these stories on the front page of the papers every day for the last how many years? Mm-hmm. If you look at Me Too and you look at Penn State and you look at Larry Nasser and you look, the list goes on. We educate, every coach in our country, in Canada. We educate 70 sports. We educate every coach in the country. We've educated over 1.7 million coaches and parents. We have a whole parent program in our country on exactly how to be a better sport parent, what to look out for. And it's mandatory and it's tied to registration. So if you don't take it as a parent, your kid can't play. And to me, again, we put all the onus on the coach, but it's not just the coach. It's all of us as adults' responsibility to be the best we can, keep our ears and our eyes open in the game. And if I was a parent, I'd be asking questions. What do you have in place? What's your protocol around this? And not be shy to ask questions. And if the organization's, taking a priority in this area and everything's up to snuff, they won't have a problem answering those questions. But if they're wishy-washy on it, I'd be wondering why.
Yeah.
Hey, you played 2 years of junior with Joe Sakic. Has he ever come out and talked about anything with Graham James? And you talk about leadership and big voices and some of the biggest names in hockey and whatever. He's a guy who played for a guy who went to prison for, abusing young kids. Has he spoken on the record or spoken to anybody about this as far as you know?
I don't think so. And, I don't expect Joe to. And, I think, it's not everybody is capable of speaking and working in this space. It's, and I would never expect Joe to, to come out and speak about it. I think at the end of the day, we've got lots of voices talking about this now. There was a while when, it might've been only me, and now there's not. There's lots of people. And I think what these issues need now is a real focus, and we need to create a focus to have the biggest impact that we can have, which would translate into less people, being hurt in this space. And so that's kind of where I'm trying to put my time and energy is really try to bring a focus to these issues, simplify them, street level language them, make them understandable, and empower people. Don't be, get people confident to say, you know what, hey, yeah, I could have probably been better in that area. Instead of, making them feel ashamed of who they are and I better quit because I'm so bad. I think at the end of the day, we're trying to make people better, and nobody has been perfect. And they, when we look at, I'm not talking about sexual abuse here. I'm talking about just, emotional maltreatment or things. I mean, the way we used to coach is way different than we coach today. Mm-hmm. And if we don't teach on the new way of coaching, and a big part of that's emotional maltreatment and all these issues. And I think a coach, this will be my last thing, but I think a coach, it's not just what's going on in the team and and you as a coach, and the coach is going to abuse this kid. It's about the coach being in a position, and just because they put their hand up to say, I'm going to coach, they are in a position where they may be the only trusted adult in that kid's life. And if that kid discloses something to them that's going on in their home or somewhere else, they need to know what to do. And that's probably more likely than the coach being an abuser. And that's just, because I think whether we like it or not, the positional power of a coach is huge. And because we know that the majority of child abuse cases happen, in the home, those kids may look at that rink or that sporting facility or the library or wherever as their safe place. And if you're an adult in a trusted position in their life, you may and will have an opportunity to change their life if they ever disclose something like this to you.
All right, a few more things for you, and then we'll let you go. And I want you to promote your foundation and everything that you're doing to help people too, so people can know a place where they can reach out if they have questions or if they need help. But I'm curious, even going back to when you were a kid, when all this was happening, like, do you look back? Do you hold your parents responsible? I mean, how do you look at your parents just kind of looking the other way? Your hockey career was kind of put first. All the trust was placed in Graham James because he was going to get you to the next level. Do you have any anger towards your parents because of that?
No, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's kind of, I think, if you look at the grooming process, back then, I mean, small town, and why do you think Graham James lurked around the small towns? And, it gave him the ability to take, to move your child out of the small town to give them an opportunity and get them away, because that is one of their techniques, is to isolate, right? So if I look at my parents, they were groomed and manipulated right along with me and by Graham James. And if you look at the media, look at how many people Graham James manipulated, throughout his career, to be this great guy, which a lot of people never suspected him of doing any of this, even if there was rumors around. And so it wasn't just my mom and my dad. It was Graham James operated in the hockey world for over 20 years. And he was doing this for 20 years in the hockey world. So he was very good at what he did as far as grooming and manipulation and gaining people's trust. I think that there's one of the biggest things I had to deal with was you get sold on the fact to come into the game, we're going to take care of you, and we're your family and all this stuff. And then when something like this happens, they're not really around. And, and I think that, especially in my situation, I mean, the initial belief was to believe Graham, because who's going to believe Kennedy? Because he's this troubled hockey player, young kid. Right. So, at the end of the day, I don't blame my parents, but it has to be something that you work through, because it has an impact, even though you're not out there like my parents are, assholes. I mean, I have talked about my dad being, not the most pleasant person to in our home, but, I've had to deal with those things for sure.
So, but okay. You appreciate you coming on, by the way. This has been tough, man. Like you have a hardcore story. A lot of people have hardcore stories, but now you have a family. I looked you up, by the way, and you are a part of every single thing in Canada. You got all kinds of stuff going on. You have a beautiful family. Do you look back
the
at
Order
not
of
to mention,
Canada?
Your hair looks unbelievable, by the way. You haven't aged in like 15 years, just so you know. Okay, I evaluate everything. But are you chilling now? Do you look back and like all this shit that happened to me? I got an awesome family. I'm doing well. People are looking up to me. I'm helping people. Do you feel good?
Yeah, I mean, I think a good story is to, I couldn't tell people what to do. I had to walk the walk. I had to show people, how to live in good recovery and that good things can happen. And, I never ever set out to be a member of the Order of Canada or Canada Sports Hall of Fame or the Order of Hockey. Like I never set out to, I'd be the last person that I would have ever thought would have been in any of that stuff. And you know what? We've tried to do the right thing day in and day out. We've tried to show up for people that need our help. We've tried to show up for organizations that need our help. I probably do more work inside of hockey and, to try to help them be better in this space and have for the last 24 years. I want to see the game be the best it can be. I believe it can be the best it can be, but until we get there, we have to acknowledge and be honest with ourselves about where we're starting from. And in this space, we had a long ways to go. But we have come a long ways. Like, we've been educating every coach in Canada, and I can't speak for the US, but every coach in Canada for the last 20 years, mandatory training. Right. And now parents and now officials. And now we just trained every player in the whole Western Hockey League. And so it's, I have decided to, I tried to take a step back. And I think what the pandemic's been able to give me is a little bit of an ability to say no, a little bit of reset. I've got a 3-year-old son who I love dearly, and I have a 24-year-old daughter and who I had to do a lot of work on. I mean, she watched her dad go through treatment. She watched her dad trying to get healthy. It had a huge impact on her. And, so that was a relationship that I needed to spend a lot of time on and very grateful that we've been able to, work through all her pain that I caused her. And I'm so grateful for that. But, I think at the end of the day, I want to help. And, it's not, there's no more to it than that. I seem to be the one that gets the phone calls. So, I need to respond. I have never had an agent in my life that has phoned to request an interview. Everything I've ever done has been people contacting me. So I don't know. Like, I guess, for me, there must be a need because it's about people phoning me and asking me for help and asking me for my opinion. So I've had an opportunity and a platform to change that conversation and to share my point of views and to share our work and to talk about, what we've been doing to try to help organizations. And in particular these days, hockey. And I think that, we've done a lot. I mean, if you look at the, 32 million people or whatever it is in Canada, and we've trained 1.7 million and counting. I mean, that's a huge number, and around issues that nobody ever believed needed educating on, 15 years ago. So we've come a long ways, and I'm proud of that. And I think we got a long ways to go. And the way I look at the NHL situation is that, no different than my situation. There was a very awful thing that's happened, and and we need to be able to acknowledge it, own it, and do the best we can to right that wrong. And I think if we can do that, and the NHL can do that, they can be leaders in this space, and they'll help people that they don't even know that, they'd never even think of helping before.
Yeah, no question. Hey, I'm curious how closely you followed the David Frost situation, who was the agent that Mike Danton represented. Mike Danton, Sheldon Keefe, who's now the head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and all that situation that went down. There's never been any proof of any sexual abuse. I covered that story extensively, but did you sense a lot of similarities though in terms of the control, the manipulation that you share with us about Graham James that maybe you heard about with David Frost? Any similarities there?
Well, yeah, I mean, I know that case and I knew that story. And, I think that there was a lot of similarities. I mean, and it's, if you look at the, how abuse happens of any way, shape or form, whether it be sexual abuse or emotional abuse or, that whole story. I mean, it was abuse of power and so I don't know if there's anything that's come out of that lately, but it was quite the story. I mean, with Danton and all of that, which wasn't that was St. Louis, was it not?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Right here in St. Louis. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I know that story and I think there's lots of similarities. It goes to show how vulnerable, I got a 25-year-old and I see how, even vulnerable she is at 25, let alone 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. She was, and I felt that, she was a mature, person and yet so vulnerable. And so, it just really opened my eyes up to, the situation of a 14-year-old being in the hands of a junior hockey coach that doesn't have, very good motives.
Yeah, no question. All right. Tell us about your foundation and what you have going on there and how busy are you with it? And what's the inspiration to continue moving forward with this? And what do you hope to accomplish moving forward?
Well, my work, volunteer work is, all around child advocacy centers. So really getting all the agencies that have the legislative mandate to work together, changing legislation to allow for police, child and family, health organizations to share information in the best interest of the child so that we can get better investigations, but more importantly, have real, true integrated practice amongst the systems where they usually don't talk to each other. So we can do in a day, which usually takes, weeks and months, and ultimately we can help kids back on their healing journey. And so we do that, and we've worked in this province and across the country in that space for many years. And there's 32 child advocacy centers across this country now, and then we have Respect Group, and Respect Group we provide online training for workplaces, coaches, parents, officials. We've got programs called Keeping Girls in Sport. We build all of Hockey University, so all your coaching level ones within Hockey Canada across the country. We build all the programs for Jumpstart, so coaching kids with all disabilities. So that's what we do, and we're a technology business, and we build e-learning programs, but our main focus is around abuse, bullying, harassment, and discrimination. And so far, we've educated over 1.7 million adults and kids across this country on a mandatory level, and that takes work. Anybody can put a program in, but it takes real leadership to make it mandatory, and that's where the rubber hits the road, and something that we're proud of.
You going fishing now when you hang up with us? Now what are you doing? What are you doing now for the rest of the day?
Like, what kind of hobbies you got? Like, what are you doing today?
Well, I woke up. I've been on the phone on Zoom calls since 8 this morning, and got the little guys. He's just got back home from, he goes to a little morning Montessori school, so he's there. So he just got home. So I'm going to go back and probably play a little WWE, and then I think we're maybe go up to the rec center and put a pair of skates on them, and we'll go walk around the ice a little bit.
Oh, there you go.
That's how it is.
That's
right
the way
there,
to do it. That's the way to do it. Sheldon, listen, man,
You're
all the
man.
best to you and everything you're doing,
Yep.
and a lot of courage and everything you've done to come forward with everything over the last several years. And we wanted to get you on.
Yeah.
It's sometimes not the easiest conversation to have, but again, I think it's an important conversation to have, and you're helping a lot of people along the way. So thanks for doing that. Enjoy the time with your son today, and hopefully we'll catch up again here shortly.
Get
down
a
the
boat
road.
for that lake, by the way. I'm serious. Center council, preferably, but it's all good. Keep doing good work.
Hey, I saw that you said you had a 35-footer back in the day there, Sheldon.
Yeah, well, on St. Clair Lake in Detroit, probing, I had a...
Oh, probing?
Yeah.
Don't even.
God. Can we talk a little probie? We love the Probert stories, man. Was he like your closest teammate or what? Was he your closest teammate?
Well, we lived together for 5 years.
There you go.
All right, gosh, you guys I mean, he's everybody wants to hear about him, man. I mean, it is what it is. Did you know he was going through hardcore times? Like how'd you guys connect?
Well, they thought it was a good idea that they put the two of us together.
I've been through that situation before.
I still giggle about that. Yeah, no, Proby and I are good. We're good buddies. Yeah, we're good buddies. Sad story, but he's a legend in his own right, eh? The big rig.
We all grew up watching him play, man. But go hang out with your kids. Go do your thing and enjoy life. Thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate it, Sheldon.
Yeah.
You bet. Have a good day.
All right.
See you guys.
You too, buddy. Take care. Hey, what's up, everybody? That interview was brought to you by Daredevil Hockey and daredevilhockey.com. Use that promo code today, Cam and Strick. It's going to save you 25%. All caps, Cam and Strick, Daredevil Hockey. Get yourself protected today. All right, we thank Sheldon Kennedy for joining us here on the Cam and Strick podcast presented by Hair Club. Again, very important conversation, not the easiest conversation to have, but unfortunately it's something that is topical right now in the game of hockey.
You were good in this one, man. I couldn't. You're just good at, I don't know.
You were so laid back. And
I get nervous.
Why were you? You're sweating profusely.
Well, no, because let me explain, guys.
I saw something, by the way, a doctor on TV the other day, excessive sweating. There are ways
it's not about me.
To treat that.
It's not about me.
There's ways that you can treat that, too.
I don't give a fuck about my stupid sweating.
Same.
It's the last of my fucking worries.
Is it?
But even today, Andy and I always call each other in the morning. Very annoying sometimes. But he's like, we got to...
Well, I can't talk to you after 8 p.m., I told you.
Well, I go to bed. I can't talk to my wife either. And I got my own problems because if she sleeps too, she'll sleep till the cows. The point is, I was nerve-wracked a little bit for this because I don't know...
What makes you nervous?
Because I'm not good at asking question. If he's sitting by me, I could look at him like, dude, what do you mean by that? But if I'm not there, he can't see my emotion to understand I'm not professional in asking questions. Yeah. Where you could just detail a question so good to where, I don't know, I just get lost sometimes. But if he's fucking next to me, I'm so good at talking to people. Yeah. But if he's not by me, I feel nervous.
Let me ask you this. If you're Gary Bettman in the NHL, how best can you utilize a resource like Sheldon Kennedy?
If I'm him?
If you're Gary.
I don't think Gary gives a shit. I think he just... I think he cares. I just don't think that it's like, what's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? Like... You don't
think he cares, dude? He doesn't want this type of stuff.
Of course he doesn't. But my point is, you got to stay on him. Because just like any other business, it's like this can get pushed away, and now what's next? What next happens?
Well, there's always going to be a new curveball presented or whatever.
How about just be ahead of things? Especially, this is so easy. In a way, no, everybody knows it's bad. If there's any type of weird... people should be on it. And, it's not just Gary Bettman. It's a lot of people that kind of fuck this up.
Well, it's the teams. It's not even the league's responsibility for the teams to be able to handle what's going on in-house.
I know.
You know what I mean?
You got to give it to him to
you
take
need
care of
the
it?
league, and you need a guy like Sheldon Kennedy to say, okay, this is how we go about it. This is how you go about it.
What do you need?
If you're in charge of an NHL team, of an organization, just be aware of what's going on inside your own house.
Your video coach is hanging out with a player. That's weird. I'm telling you that's weird. That would be so weird if we walked in the locker room and we're just looking you knew they hung out last night. You'd be like, what? What do you? It'd just be weird. Yeah. It'd be people we talked about it. And the hierarchy would be like, well, every day. And then you hang out with the guy every day. You cut and clip.
But I think it's important to understand the differences. People bring up Sheldon Kennedy. His name has come up a lot over the course of the last few weeks since this independent investigation regarding Kyle Beach was released. But these two cases, I guess there's some similarities. I mean, Sheldon even talked about maybe some similarities, but but very different at the same time. We're talking about a manipulative monster preying on a young kid versus adult on adult assault, you know?
Yeah, I think one kind of went too far. The other one was more of like a Sandusky situation where you're preying.
Yeah.
Where this guy is not preying on him, but he manipulated.
Or Larry Nassar, like these
with
gymnast
young girls,
psychopath, man.
Or he was just a 20-year-old dude, and they probably hung out, and he probably like forced himself.
But I felt like, and I know you did too, it's important to have these conversations because we do have so many parents that are listening. And and this is a worst nightmare for a lot of parents out there.
Well, it shouldn't be, because you got to tell your kids, I'm just telling you. And when's the right age for it? I don't know.
But
I remember my parents just like.
But there's a lot of people out there that convince parents, hey, I'm the best thing that can happen to your child's athletic excellence.
Your parents are the best thing ever.
You know?
You need to be in control of that. I don't care who the hell that guy is. Like, you know your kid. Even my dad would always say this. You know, the coaches say, you don't know about hockey or whatever to my dad.
Would they say that to him?
Well,
or did your coach say that to you? Like,
well, I didn't know anything either. I just figured it out. Andy. That's from Eureka, Missouri. I had no idea about anything. I just figured it out. But my dad didn't either. But my dad would say, as a rebuttal, like, well, I know my kid. And I know my kid more than you do. Mm-hmm. And I always know my kid. And I always have a better relationship no matter what with my child, who I love. And so I always knew, the coaches knew that too. Like, yeah, you could tell me to get the puck off the wall, but if I'm weirded out, my dad knows it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Well, that's on you guys, and you're being a parent.
Yeah.
Like, you got to find a way. And that was a fuck up too, man. Just so you know, like, you can't just stick. Like, you got to find a way to have a relationship with your kids.
One thing is just unrelatable to a lot of people who are listening is how a guy like David Frost, for example, can essentially steal your kids out of your own home and have your kids live with him.
Well, what's the common denominator? Your dads aren't part of it. Your mom's not part of you.
Well,
one of them's not part of it.
They had parents there.
Yeah, but are they?
And from what I understand, Sheldon Keefe's parents are great people.
Well, then I don't know. That's a tough one.
But
it's usually
But again, it's like the NHL dream, the dream of getting to the NHL. Don't ever put that ahead of the safety of your child.
No, not at all. Look, you could do,
but you can be different type of controlling predators. It doesn't always have to be in the sexual nature. There hasn't been any proof of David Frost doing anything sexual to any of the kids that he preyed on, but who knows, man? I mean, all I'm saying is when these kids all of a sudden leave home at a young age to go live with a hockey coach, I don't know how necessary that is.
If you have, the bottom line is you got to try to have a good relationship with the kids, especially if they're doing high octane sports. You got to have. You got
to keep your head on a swivel, man. Know the coaches.
See, so you parents have to balance yourself out too. Like, you can't be too involved. Right? It's about me. My kid's not going there. I've seen so many parents fuck up kids that way. But on the other hand, you can't be so aloof. Like, oh, go ahead, take the agent. You're sleep with the agent all weekend. And
right.
No, it's like, well, what are you guys doing?
We're gonna have the coach sleep over at the house and sleep like in your room downstairs.
What?
It's like, what?
Fuck. I mean. My dad be like, wait, what are you doing?
Yeah.
No, we'll give you a fucking hotel room.
We'll get a hotel.
I don't even have money, and I'll give you a fucking Holiday Inn right there in your.
Well, you can pitch that three-quarter ton tent.
Hey, no,
in the driveway,
in the backyard. Maybe I'll make you a fire.
I made great fires all weekend, by the way.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, because Norm's firewood. This guy Norm, who dropped off the firewood.
I like how you give him shout outs like that, Abe.
He's just cool, dude. The fire just lasts forever, and it's like heated. It's just. You got to come over, dude. You got to come over.
Wood.
And they had the party going on next door.
Oh, must have been sick.
You got to come over.
Meanwhile, I have my own fire going on in my house. I didn't see it. I got werewolves in my backyard.
I didn't see it.
I got a graveyard. It's fucking spirits are.
I didn't see any of it.
Well, you weren't over at my house. I live there, so I did see it.
You didn't have any pictures, no videos?
Well, I was golfing.
Who are you golfing with? Your neighbors?
No, it's my buddy.
Oh, yeah? How'd you do?
Oh, I beat him. He gave me a handicap.
Explain handicap.
Well, he gave me a mulligan every hole.
Oh.
And he's really good.
Okay.
And I beat him.
Okay.
I beat him like 6 holes.
Okay. But I think it's great that we had Sheldon Kennedy on. I hope he becomes even a larger resource for the NHL. And I hope he can make people comfortable about having this conversation, man. Just be aware. And, again, he's an important person now moving forward for, I think, awareness and understanding and education, knowledge, what they're doing with coaches and people up in Canada. Educating these coaches of the warning signs and just making sure everyone's aware to do our best effort possible to prevent anything like this from happening.
I agree, man. Smart guy. Been through a lot. Yes. And I hope he's doing good. I try to ask him, too. Like, you chilling, man?
I think he is. I think he is. I mean, he said he's been, comfortable, like, because I asked him, how comfortable are you talking about this type of stuff? He's been in recovery now for several years. Yeah. And now he's made it his life's work, his life's mission to educate others, which
he sounds happy, dude.
I think is very important.
He sounds like...
So,
anyway.
Yeah, we appreciate Sheldon Kennedy for joining us on this edition of the Cam and Strick podcast presented by Hair Club. Over 1,200 locations throughout the U.S. and throughout Canada. Lots of different solutions. Again, 800-279-7878, 800-279-7878. Again, go to hairclub.com/Cam and Strick. And if you call in that call-in number or set up a consultation on the Cam and Strick landing page, you'll receive $250 off of select solutions, man. That's a nice little discount.
You're going bald. Sign up and put our name in there, please.
Yes.
I'm just telling you.
All right. Hair Club. 1,200 locations throughout North America. Of course, Car Shield, 800-857-2481, 800-857-2481. Use that promo code CAM. You're going to save 10%. Again, you never know when something's going to go down. Make sure you're protected.
No doubt.
They hook you up with a rental car. Too, yeah. They let you take it to wherever you want to have your car serviced, which is always very important. Again, Car Shield and carshield.com. Danny Bellman, our boy Danny Boy, and everybody over there at Bellman.com, man. Over there in Troy, Missouri. They've got the Buick GMC on one side of the street, the Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on the other side. Are you still looking at that Buick Enclave?
How many times do I have to tell you what I'm looking at, man? But I'll get that fucking
Off-white.
I'll get that motherfucking
Frosted.
See, I look pimping that mug. They actually run like Cadillac.
They're actually great, dude.
They're nice.
And they're super nice on the inside, too.
Dude, anything that they sell over there, actually, if you get a nice one, it's nice.
Well, no one's going to argue that.
Nice is nice.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Again, mybookie.ag. Use that promo code CAMSTRICK. There is no and in there. And you can double your money, man. So if you put in $100, you're going to get $200 right away. You put in $1,000, you're going to get $2,000 right away.
Yeah.
So hook it up. And let us know where you're betting, how you're betting. We can all do it together and stuff like that and kind of have fun.
Well, they want nothing to do with you, I'm sure. But yeah, it's interesting, man. It keeps you involved in the game. Mm-hmm. Don't overdo it, but just like do a little bit at a time and get your groove. And it makes you more like involved in the sport or whatever sport it is. Yeah. I love my Sundays, baby.
Yeah, I love mybookie.ag. Mybookie.ag. Again, use that promo code CAMSTRICK, and they're going to double your money up to $1,000. So what are you looking at? Hey, there's a lot of great games coming up. I'm feeling Toronto right now. They've won 5 in a row. So, they're going to lose at some point. They're going to lose at some point. Chicago, all of a sudden.
No, it's more like the Arizona thing.
Arizona's going to
win a fucking game here soon.
Yeah.
And you're going to make a lot of money if you bet $100 on it.
You buying Calgary?
I don't know yet, dude. Quit asking me hardcore questions. I don't know yet.
Are you buying Calgary?
Sick-ass goal. Sick-ass fucking guy. I still like Ovi's back check better than anything going.
Better than McDavid's goal. I do, too.
I'm sorry.
That was a great tweet that I had,
I liked it.
You liked it?
Yeah. I'm glad you stuck up for me because I had a little nerdy.
I had some nerdy people coming at me, too. I'm like, what?
He's fucking awesome.
Yeah. We need to get him on.
He's the coolest hockey player in the league is Alexander Ovechkin.
Who's the second coolest?
Oh, goddamn. I don't know.
I mean, is anybody else cool?
Ovi's Osh is up there, probably. Like, he's chilled out a little bit.
They got a cool team, man.
They got a really... Tom Wilson, come on.
Oh, yeah.
Carlson.
They're cool.
They're fucking cool as shit. Yeah. Maxim's a cool cat. Kuznetsov's cool.
They're all cool.
They're fucking badass, dude.
Over there.
Yeah.
Washington Capitals, baby. Dude, go ahead and put money on them.
Fucking right. I want them to do good because they're fun.
Yeah.
I like fun teams.
Yeah. All those guys are local legends. You know that?
Yeah, I like when Osh and Tommy do their little...
Oh, yeah. Their thing,
give a fuck. The women go fucking crazy.
You don't know that.
You don't know anything.
Well, the women used to come to the games at Parkway North. They used to watch.
No, they used to come to the Blues games and watch you. I remember that. Like, where's Andy? Never mind you, Cam. You said a 2-minute fight. You took your shirt off. You're flexing your pecs in a penalty box. All your high school girls are. They're like, we don't care about you, Cam. Where's Andy? We want to know where he's, asking questions at. I want to take him to Harry's.
He's a local legend. www.bealocallegend.com. Use that promo code STRICK. You're going to save 20%, baby. Be a local legend. That's how you find their Instagram account, at Be a Local Legend. They got great stuff on Instagram, great posts, great website. They got all the shirts, the hoodies, the hats. Funny story, I gave Brody a hat and it wouldn't fit on his head. Actually, it wouldn't fit on your head first.
No, well,
and then it wouldn't fit on Brody's head. And then, of course, our boy Ryan over there.
Of course, it fit on your head.
With Local Legend says that was for Ty. It's like a youth size.
Yeah.
So they've got stuff for the kids, too, man. Well, that's the important message here. They've got stuff for the kids.
Brody, he's wearing the hat isn't that funny? Me and you have, like, normal size grown men's head. He doesn't.
No.
Your head's tiny.
No,
it's all good.
This one's not youth.
Your teeth are good.
This one's not
Your
youth.
teeth are good.
No, this one's the youth one.
Your teeth are good.
Okay. BeALocalLegend.com, so be sure to check that out. And again, My Custom Sports Chair. Support all the sponsors. My Custom Sports Chair, Cam and Strick 20. It's going to save you a boatload of money. Get those in time for the holidays. You can get the Cam and Strick chair. You can get any hockey team you're looking for, whatever you want.
Tough,
I know, mine does too.
Mine looks sick to all the neighbors. Yeah. What the fuck? I only had a couple, Halloween.
Yeah. I'm thinking about having one made for my neighbor for his
Andy.
100% of the ACT. Like putting his, I might put his ACT score on.
You love him
on the back of it.
Are you guys best friends?
But ACT and then his score.
It's cool.
I don't know. He's been away at college. I've only met him once.
Tell him to cure something for fuck's sake.
Well, you might.
Well, then do it.
You got a better chance of doing that than you do.
There's a lot of kids that know how to toe drag back in the day, and they didn't make the NHL.
Hey, Daredevil Hockey. DaredevilHockey.com. I got Ty wearing the tops and the bottoms for protection, dude. And absolutely. Daredevil Hockey. Check it out.
No, just the tops.
And use that promo code Cam and Strick, all caps.
Yeah.
All caps. And you're going to save a boatload of money there. But again, man, all the parents out there, listen, don't end up in the emergency room. The number one cause of emergency room visits among youth hockey players is skate lacerations, dude. It's very serious stuff. It's very serious. This protects you. They've got that the beautiful fabric overlays that prevent the skate lacerations. It's 100% tough. You can't cut through it.
It's not you. It's the opposite of you. It's tough.
It's tough. It's sick tough is what it is.
Oh, complete opposite.
Yes. So check it out. Daredevil Hockey. Use that promo code Cam and Strick, and you're going to save 25%. All right. Hope you enjoyed this very important interview, man. And we appreciate Sheldon Kennedy for taking some time and joining us today. Not the normal uppity interview, but again, a very important interview, an important conversation that we're glad that we had with Sheldon Kennedy, and we wish him nothing but the best and happy holidays, obviously, moving forward for the Kennedy family for sure.
Absolutely, baby.
All right, this has been the Cam and Strick Podcast. Again, go to camandstrick.com. If you missed a latest episode, you can find that. We're available everywhere you get your podcast. Spotify, Apple, Google Play, YouTube, no matter where you're going to, you can find it. Follow us on Instagram at Cam and Strick. Follow us on Twitter at Cam and Strick. So make sure you follow us everywhere. Facebook, too. And be sure to shoot us a review. Hit that 5-star liking and shoot us a review. Any potential sponsors out there looking to get into business, you want to hit us up in time for the holidays, we're here to help you out as well. Again, for everybody affiliated with the Cam and Strick Podcast, we thank the one and only Sheldon Kennedy for joining us here on episode 159.